like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your home for the Oakland A's every weekend.
And it's swung a line to left center, base hit, and the A's have won it on a walk-off line drive, base hit to left center.
Sactown Sports. It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Oh, yes. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. for the last time of 2023, and we're going to make it a fun one as we talk about the biggest stories of the year, the biggest L's of the year, the biggest games of the year, and, of course, get you ready for not only Kings Hawks, that's tonight, but also Kings Grizzlies, that's on New Year's Eve, and Niners Commanders. We have so many guests. We waited until the last show of the year to have the most guests that we've ever had on the show. We have DaMichael Cole, beat writer for the Grizzlies. He will be joining us. We have Lake Lewis Jr. He is a insider for ABC News in Washington to talk Niners and Commanders. And yes, we will have Frankie Cardicelli and Brenden Nunez for our Kings Roundtable starting at 12:34 an hour, fully loaded like a baked potato. Chris Watkins, how you feeling? I mean, last show of 2023. Talk about it. We can talk about this later in the show, but what a roller coaster of events for you.
You have no idea.
I don't. I really don't. I really don't. In this year 2023, I mean, can you even put into words how you're feeling?
No.
What a time to be alive. But I'll tell you what, my guy, you have handled it all with composure and grace, and that's why you are going to be in this business for a very long time. I'm happy to be doing this show with you.
Like you said, it's been a crazy year. It feels like we ended the year in a good spot, though. I'm happy with where we're at, and it's just the beginning of what's to come. And I know that our good friend Brenden Nunez also gave us a nice little end-of-year treat on SactownSports.com, where you can get all the best inside analysis, everything. Brenden wrote a nice little potential trade piece for us on SactownSports.com. So that when Brendan's given us material like that, and we're going to be able to kind of grill him and really put him in a corner, because I know you love the trade machine.
I do.
Love that we're ending the year how we pretty much spent this year.
And I haven't got a chance to take a look at it, so I want to react to this all live. This is all going to be live reaction with Brenden, and we're going to have some fun with that on the text line from our guy Tin. Have a great show, Stiles and Watkins. We plan to, Tin, we plan to, and get your calls in. So here's the thing. We have some dedicated segments to the best of 2023. We also just have some sounds and thoughts from 2023, but we can't remember it all. You know how it is when somebody says think of something on the spot and you can't think of it, but then as soon as the mics turn off or as soon as you stop talking to somebody, you think of everything. So 916-339-1140. That is the text line and the call line. And, of course, our Sack Chat on YouTube. If you're driving now on the way home or on the way where you're going to have access to your phone or computer, you can hit us up, Sactown Sports 1140 on YouTube, to be a part of the Sack Chat. And if we're talking about something in 2023 and we have forgotten something because so much has happened, chime in, please, and help us out. We want to try to remember as much as possible. Nate Littlefield taking us into 2024. He is behind the glass today. Thank you to Nate for all he is going to do, because we got a lot of sound. We got a lot of clips. We got a lot to get to. So how you feeling, Chris? Let's start here. And by the way, a little bit later in the show, around 10:45, I know I teased it on Twitter or X, Monty Bolaños from Fox Sports Radio. We will be talking about her comments, her quarterbacky comments about Lamar Jackson and saying that Christian McCaffrey is her MVP. We will react to that at 10:45. You're not going to want to miss that, because I'm not going to spoil it, but Chris and I, we don't fully agree. I don't really know what we agree or disagree on, because we don't like to do the show before the show, but we talked briefly. 10:45 is going to be spectacular. It's going to be a lot of different dynamics and a lot of different thought processes, so you're not going to want to miss that at 10:45. Let's start here, Chris. You have the Kings taking on the Hawks tonight. And for an early game, I like that. I don't mind that.
Enjoy it as well.
Having a kiddo, we can get a full nap in, because at night you never know. So you do like the early
Definitely,
starts.
yeah. I mean, like, it's better. I mean, especially when the Kings are at home, which they very rarely have early home games during the week. Like, sometimes we'll get the Saturday noon game. I like those. Selfishly, it gets us out of the way, and then we kind of, it just sucks to get off and, be done with the live stream and everything like that. And then I look at the clock, it's 11 o'clock, and I'm like, especially if the Kings lose, it's like, I kind of need a little edge off. I might need to, have a nice little drink or something after. And I'm like, my gosh, it's 11:30. I got to be up in a couple hours. So, I enjoy the early games. It does, usually have a weirder feel to it. I think you can really tell. And I mean, you were an athlete in college, so you can always kind of feel different. Athletes especially are creatures of habit and routine. So when you have an early game, it does feel a little like you're lightheaded or something. You're like, what is a little shell shocky? But I kind of like it. Something about that, like just the snow globe being shooken up a little bit. To me, when I played, I always kind of liked it. It felt new, and it just felt like anything was possible that day.
Now, do you think that could affect the Kings negatively? Because this is their first one, right?
Yeah, this is their first really early one.
Really early game. So are we okay? Don't sleepwalk through this. Don't sleepwalk through that. And you look up. And by the way, we're going to talk about the Pistons. I forgot to mention that. We're going to talk about the Pistons because Dwight Howard had some things to say about basically guys from the big three and guys playing overseas. Could you create a starting five, or even a roster that could beat the Pistons? So we'll have
a revamp
with
on
that.
The old, could Kentucky beat the process?
But
Sixers?
I like this one because this is more realistic.
This is actual NBA player.
This is more realistic. And of course, my guy, friend Isaiah Thomas has some things to say about it as well. So we'll talk about all that. And we had a lot of jokes going on about the Pistons and how every game is almost a game 7 now. And Kyle Kuzma has the audacity to speak on this when you have 5 wins, Kyle. You have 5 wins. So we'll get into all that. We already see on the Sack Chat, Manny 2 legit early game finally. So I guess it depends on your job, because a lot of people, if you don't have the luxury of working from home, that 4:30 game,
it'd be too early.
You're not home yet.
Right.
You can listen here. And if that is the case, you can listen here. Sactown Sports, the flagship of the Sacramento Kings. So I think that a lot of people maybe go back and forth on it, but ultimately you have that time. And then you get a bit spoiled, because I don't know how often you go back east, but obviously I got ties back there, family back there, and it's awful.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
It is
I hear it's
awful,
rough
man.
to
So
be
they
an East
never
Coast
have
sports
this opportunity
Yeah.
to get a 4:00 game because that's their 7 o'clock.
Right.
It's terrible. So the whole East Coast bias thing, I understand that you're not going to watch a game at 10 p.m.
Right.
It's
that starts
brutal.
at 10 p.m.
That starts at 10.
Yeah.
Even Monday Night Football, I'm truly surprised, Chris, that they haven't bumped it up a little. You have it's different when I guess it's the only game if it's Thursday or Monday, but you have a day full of football.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say it's not your team, and I know we're not going to get into the NFL numbers today, but if it's not my team and it's 8 o'clock and you're asking me to watch, what was it last night? Browns, Jets. I'm sorry.
Not happening.
It's excuse me.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
I don't blame them. I don't blame East Coast fans at all for or even the media for not tuning in. I mean, especially for some of these, college bowls and things like, or the Pac-12 or what was formerly known as the Pac-12. Those games start at 7:30, and we're talking about college football games that'll go on for 3.5, sometimes 4 hours.
Yeah.
There's no way that you can realistically expect somebody to stay up for, like you said, a team that's not theirs, that they really have no ties to. It's absolutely crazy, but I'm glad the Kings are getting to experience a little bit of that. And I think a part of this road trip, I don't think it's going to be next week, but the following week is going to be like all early games. So shout out our guys in the afternoon. The drive guys are going to have some easy days coming ahead for them in the new year.
You know what? They always do, though.
It's so whack.
They always
so
do.
whack.
So, but good for them. They deserve it. Looking at the Atlanta Hawks, and I mean, Trae Young had a lot of things to say over the summer about winning a championship. Didn't he also say if he didn't get injured or somebody did? This was recent. That they would have won the championship in that year that they beat the Knicks. I believe ridiculous. I heard that. So again, we will be discussing all of that and more. I'm looking here, like you said, at the Kings and what they have coming up because they're 17-12. Things could be much, much worse. And you have the Hawks in Atlanta, the Grizzlies, and like we said, we are going to talk to DaMichael Cole, who is a beat writer for the Grizzlies, also does Locked On Grizzlies. Yeah. So we're going to talk to him later in the show and get his thoughts on all things Grizzlies. Yes, all things Grizzlies on and off the court. DaMichael Cole, Grizzly Writers. That'll be at 11 a.m. And the Grizzlies, man, I think they finally lost, but I was looking at the box score. I believe Ja didn't play.
He didn't. No.
So that was his first. That was just a rest day.
Yeah.
They got smacked.
Absolutely destroyed by the Denver Nuggets. I think it was by 40 last night.
And here we are back in the MVP conversation.
Right.
Because they can't beat anybody. They are the Detroit Pistons without Ja Morant.
No, they're horrible. They're horrible. And I mean, if they somehow rise to, above 500 and if they make the playoffs, not the play in, like if they can somehow, some way, and it seems impossible. They're 10 games now back from being 500, but if they can somehow turn this season around and end up being a solidified playoff team, I kind of think Ja deserves to be in the conversation.
When Russell Westbrook won it, that triple-double year, weren't they a 5 seed or a 6
something
seed
like
or
that?
something like that? And that was before the play-in.
Right. So
you'd have to think about it. Now, I don't know.
We'll get there. We'll be there when we get there.
Right,
okay?
Exactly. They got a lot a ways to go. All right, let's get to a break. When we get back, what do you want to see from the Kings tonight? We're also talking about the biggest L of the year. And yes, we can't do Homer Radio. We got to talk about the L that happened in Sacramento because it was a big one. Great game,
possibly,
but it was a big one. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, all that and more. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by E.B. Stone. E.B. Stone for the life of your garden. The 49ers Christmas was ruined Monday night, dropping their first game in 6 weeks, 33-19 to Baltimore. Quarterback Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions in the game, the most for any 49ers gunslinger since Colin Kaepernick in 2015. The Red and Gold still control their own destiny in the NFC playoff standings, looking to get back on track New Year's Eve against Washington.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, E.B. Stone has gathered invaluable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with E.B. Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. E.B. Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive both indoors and outdoors. Trust E.B. Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing green.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. for the last time of 2023 as we get you ready for the Kings in hot Atlanta against the Hawks and Trae Young. Let's not sleep on Trae Young, though. DeJounte Murray has been in some trade machines. I think he's a good player as well. Trae Young, nice little battle that we can have between De'Aaron Fox and Trae Young. We will also get to the sound from Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox, who were on NBA TV last night, talking about the two-man game, also talking about the All-Star game and how much they care about it. Let's be honest here. They asked those questions, and De'Aaron and Sabonis, they're going to say the right things, and they did say the right things, but we have that sound for you. And yes, to confirm, Ja will not have been able to play enough games to even that new rule from this year. So doesn't matter what they do, which would be crazy, honestly, because a lot of that, really, the idea of that rule was for load management. Right. I don't think there's a rule. It's you have to play. It doesn't matter why. Right. The same thing would be with Draymond. Right. If he was in that situation. Let's say he comes back and the Warriors go off. I'm assuming he's close. I don't know, but we don't know, actually, because they haven't even announced.
We don't know how many games he's going to be out for.
Right, exactly. And real quick on that, do you think they're going to come out and then say,
like,
hey, this is how many he has left? Or will it be now it's starting?
I bet it'll be a report. Draymond Green is nearing a return. We probably won't get an actual thing, but it'll be like nearing a return expected in the next 1 to 2 weeks. And I mean, again, we kind of, I think we did this before Draymond's schedule or suspension was announced, but I think all we really need to do is figure out when they play the Kings next. And that should probably tell us when.
I don't think that's so March or anything.
Right. No.
But, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think it's actually coming in January at some point. Yeah. But, my guess would be that game.
Yeah, I think it's January for the Warriors and they're done. And then I think it's either the Rockets or the Pelicans. These teams that
the no-no teams.
Yes, the Kings are trying to get a W off of. I don't think it's definitely not the Pelicans. I believe it's the Rockets.
What about the Clippers though? Then too, that's a no-no.
Yeah,
team.
I don't.
We got to play them.
I actually have some. I guess this is breaking news. I got some news for you guys.
Okay.
Frank Thomas. You familiar with Frank Thomas?
Yeah,
Frank
Nugenics.
He is alive and well. There's been false reports this morning on national news that he died. He had to post a picture of himself.
Too much Nugenics.
Yeah, he's alive. If you've heard Frank Thomas died this morning, that is not.
Well, I would
true.
not be joking about the too much Nugenics if he actually was.
No, he didn't.
Is alive and well.
There's straight up a picture of him posted.
I see this.
Yeah. So
from the official. Sorry, Nate. At the official, the Big Hurt 35. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry. My ex-employer Fox would be this irresponsible on national television this morning. Yes, I am alive and doing well. This blows my mind. Also.
Fox?
That is from Frank Thomas.
Yeah, I see.
Fox posted it?
They put his face up 1968 to 2023, Frank Thomas. It really looks like he died, so it's crazy.
Goodness.
So good that he didn't. That's
very
insane story.
So who did they get that from? TMZ or?
I don't know, but there's a lot of funny pictures. Frank Thomas waking up this morning, finding out he's dead.
Man, that is so
that's
funny.
A nightmare, dude.
That's just so funny to me how the news cycle works. Because when did that happen? I mean, Chris and I are literally on social media as we're
all morning
doing the rundown this morning and saw nothing. When did that break?
He posted 44 minutes ago
at 9:30 on the dot. He posted it.
So basically, as we were coming in here, that broke.
And also, he hadn't tweeted since the start of December, and before that, the middle of November. So he's like not on Twitter.
Right. He had
Yeah.
to come out and say, hey, this is not true.
He posted a great pic, though.
He
Great
did.
smile.
Great-
His glasses
great
are a little
smile.
wonky, but he's got a great smile.
They are wonky.
They're a little off.
I think
Looks
Frank
like-
Thomas is underrated.
Looks a little Weekend at
His
Bernie's.
commercials
honestly,
are
but-
awesome.
Commercials are awesome.
He's
She'll
always
love it.
showing up.
She'll
The
love it,
husband.
too.
Yeah. The
Sure
the
does.
wife's in love with him, and the husband's
Yeah.
like, oh.
No, the husband's okay with it, which
Yeah,
always,
yeah, you know,
which
you're
always
right.
throws me for a loop. So
Yeah, he's like, sure, go hang out with Frank.
yeah, wow, interesting. So
Upside down
Shout
pineapple.
out the Big Hurt.
shout out to Big Hurt. I think he's underrated personally as a baseball
Yeah.
player, and I think he's a
Great
pretty
A.
darn good analyst as well. And
Yeah.
they're doing, he's doing his thing. So shout out to him. There's other guys. Remember Keenan and Kel Mitchell? Remember that
Oh
one?
yeah.
He was the host of Dance 360 after Keenan and Kel, and then there was a rumor that he died, and he also is still. That was a decade ago when they said he died.
Right.
He was on Loiter Squad too. He was funny
Yeah,
on that.
Kel is still alive as
Yeah.
well. So
Are they
there's
bringing
another.
back Good Burger?
They are.
They
yeah, they're
did.
making a
They
movie,
did
I think.
already.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they did already. I
Yeah.
think it's only on Paramount Plus or
I'm sure
something
it
like
is.
that. And
Sounds right.
I don't know. Maybe I'll have some time to watch it. All right. Thank you for that, Nate.
Yeah.
That not breaking.
Just wanted to
news.
make sure people knew.
No.
Well, there goes. That leads us into the biggest L of the year. There's an L for Fox, and we'll talk about it. Fox has had a couple L's this year, like we said. We
Not
will
De'Aaron,
be
though.
talking about Monty Bolaños a little later in the show as well, and what she had to say for Fox Sports Radio. There also was a W though, and we didn't even talk about this in the pre-show. Nick Wright eviscerated Aaron Rodgers, and he
Wow.
had a lot to say about
Rare
Aaron
W.
Rodgers.
That's a really rare W for Nick
And-
Wright.
well, you know that meme, the worst
the
person,
worst person
you know.
just made an excellent point. Yeah.
So we'll get
Yeah.
to that sound later in the show as well. Okay, so here is our list of biggest L's. And again, 916-339-1140 if we forgot anything or if you want to chime in. And also the Sack Chat as well. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
Kings versus Warriors game 7.
Mm. Yeah.
That's a tough one, man.
It's a really tough one. I mean, the fact that, the Kings had just won the game 6 that no one expected them to win, and then to have an opportunity on your home floor to seal the series. And I mean, I can't even imagine what the talk would have been now if the Kings would have won that playoff series and then the Warriors get off to the start that they had this year.
Yeah.
You could have truly had the crown of, we broke up the dynasty.
Yeah.
Yes, they were,
It was cracking because it's basically
Yeah.
broken. I mean, it's not broken, but it essentially is broken now.
Yeah.
The Kings did help to
They
break
helped.
it, though.
They helped, but it would have been great to really have that on your mantle, have the Jordan Poole trade happen in the offseason and say, yes, like that was us.
That was
Yes,
us.
y'all owned us for the past, 10 years or whatever, but we got the final say in the issue. Would have been great. Unfortunately, that's not what happened at all. Steph Curry dropped 50 points. I think there was 105 offensive rebounds in the third quarter. Kevon Looney continued to do what he did the entire series. And it was pretty much over by the end of the third quarter. So, it was a pretty massive L. And for the
He
first,
lit the beam.
he lit the beam in the fourth quarter as well. It was everything you wouldn't want from game 7 in your first playoff series back in 17 years. But all has been forgotten because it was a really fun series and it was a great season.
Here's an interesting thought, at least in my opinion. Do you think that, and I know what you're going to say, but I'm going to ask anyway.
Got to.
Do you think that Steph still signs De'Aaron if the Kings win?
I hate that. Yes, I do. I still think that it
I
happens.
know you would say
Yeah,
that, and
yeah.
he probably does, but
Yeah.
it is fun to
I
think
don't
about.
like that question.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time I see De'Aaron with the
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah. You're like, I don't know if you would be as okay with that.
Right. Would
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Would Steph? But they got their own problems. They lost last night to the Heat without Jimmy Butler.
Right.
Right. And they were missing somebody else as well. And here's my thing. You have a game where the Celtics, they did win, but they almost lost to the Pistons. They were missing Jaylen Brown,
Mhm.
but they almost lose to the Pistons. And you have the Warriors, and I know the Warriors aren't what they once were, but the Warriors lose to the Heat. They're missing a couple guys, including Jimmy Butler. Does it make you feel any better about the Kings Blazers or no?
No,
Yeah.
not at all.
That could be one of the biggest L's of the year.
Not at all. No, it probably will be.
It should
probably
be.
will
It should be. All right. Next on the list, Niners lose Brock Purdy early in the NFC championship game. Still actually make it kind of close, but eventually when you don't have a quarterback, shout out Josh Johnson. We hope you're doing well. It was only going to last so long. The tweets, though, during that time, outstanding. Just put McCaffrey in the Wildcat.
Ridiculous.
I mean, just crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And unfortunately,
Absolute
it went
delirium.
down.
They did that, right?
Well, they did
Yeah.
for some. You couldn't do it every.
No.
It was a mess.
When he had to go in and throw with his left arm, it's like, dude, this is a nightmare. That was like surreal.
Leading up to that, though, was such a crazy time because you have Kyle Shanahan arguing that we're not running Trey Lance. We're running Trey Lance because we always wanted to run him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets injured, 2 games into the season. Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't know what the heck he was trying to do. Then Jimmy just gets hurt trying to extend a play. He's
Gets
done.
his foot stomped on.
And then Brock Purdy goes down, and we had to have the same question about, hey, is there an injury problem? Do you need to fix the trainers? It turns out, one, Trey Lance couldn't throw, or Kyle Shanahan believed that he couldn't throw, and he admitted that after Trey was gone, so that's why he was running. And number 2, Jimmy Garoppolo just gets injured.
Yeah.
So we did so many conversations about, is it the offense? Now, Brock Purdy went down, but I think we could argue that it was just football. The first one, the blocking scheme, we had to have the blocking scheme conversation.
When did Shanahan say that about Trey Lance? I don't remember that.
He said
saying
that
he can't throw.
What he said was after Trey was gone, he said, yeah, we had to, due to where Trey was essentially as a quarterback, we had to find ways to be successful. That's what he said after Trey was gone. And after he had argued, nobody gets mad about Lamar or Jalen Hurts and things like that. So I'm glad we don't have to have that conversation anymore. But Brock Purdy was out. You can blame Shanahan, blame whoever. He's back, a little bit of a stinger, but he's been healthy all season long, knock on wood, if you are able to do so. But yeah, that was a rough game.
Terrible.
And they got their lick back.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they definitely got their lick back. But in that moment, I mean, it just felt like the entire season was just gone and there was no hope of winning that game. And to kind of go through those emotions in real time was pretty crazy to see. I mean, just the fact that you had to admit by the end of halftime or the end of the third quarter, at least, that the game was completely just impossible to try and get back. Just a rough loss. And speaking of rough losses, this one doesn't really have any local ties, but it's just the biggest loss. It just really is outside of any sort of emotion. The Chargers blowing the 27-point lead to the Jaguars in the playoffs, I mean, was just terrible. I think they were up 24-0. The Trevor Lawrence had thrown 4 interceptions in that game.
Not his fault.
And yeah, not his fault. Right. Of course. We know all interceptions aren't all on the quarterback. But yeah, I mean, just a horrible, it's not even like a franchise defining loss, but it is just a very Chargery loss, especially in that kind of situation where they did kind of have a path to the Super Bowl a little bit laid out for them, in that series or in the playoffs last year. And now you see Brandon Staley fired. A lot of people trace it all the way back to that moment last year, and just absolute carnage and chaos in that game. And then the last biggest L of the year nominee is just John Fisher being John Fisher. Just it's one thing to try and move the team, but just all of the theater and just misstep after misstep, miscalculation after miscalculation, embarrassment after embarrassment. John Fisher has just made this moving process as painstakingly terrible to watch as possible. And definitely thought that John Fisher, just completely embarrassing himself for the past calendar year, definitely deserved to be on this list.
Definitely sell. And now you're in Vegas. We don't know when. You don't know where you're playing. It's a complete mess. Yeah. And A's fans deserve better. I know there are a ton of A's fans out here in Sacramento. They deserve better. And this thing isn't over. Nope. I think it might be over in Oakland. We will keep an eye on it in 2024. I know that the Oakland still wants to have something. The A's have no clue where they're going to play, and it's a complete mess right now. So, John Fisher, shame on you. We can't say it enough, but hopefully it gets figured out for the city of Oakland, and good luck out there in Vegas, where you will be fried if you are not able to have a retractable stadium or anything like that. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, no, your ears are not deceiving you. Pistons talk. Dwight Howard says that they could create a team of dudes not in the league right now that could beat the Pistons. Let's try to create that team together. Also, Kyle Kuzma, the audacity for you to speak on the Detroit Pistons. Also, we discussed the game of the year. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than during our year-end clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't. Right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort. See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one in your neck of the woods. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Knee, foot, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Red Hawk Resort Casino is an entertainment experience like no other. We're the only place where you can play blackjack, then hop on an indoor car track. We're the only place with more than 2,000 of the hottest slots and a state-of-the-art 18-lane bowling center. And now with a world-class sports bar and a resort hotel to stay after you play. Is it any wonder we've been voted best over 100 times? We're Red Hawk Resort Casino, official casino partner of the Sacramento Kings.
This holiday season, Elk Grove Kia is here to make your dreams come true. With over 100 years of combined experience, our expert financing team is ready to help you get a new ride in 2024. Have repos, late payments, or even faced bankruptcy? No problem. At Elk Grove Kia, we believe everyone deserves a sleigh full of joy, and we're here to make it happen. And the gifts just keep coming. Purchase any new Kia today, and you won't make a single payment until next year. That's right, no payments until 2024. Now that's how you close out the year in a new ride from Elk Grove Kia. Plus, with Elk Grove Kia, there's no need to tighten your belt this holiday season because we're offering no money down. You heard that right. No money down and no payments until 2024. Santa may have his reindeer, but we've got the horsepower. Visit Elk Grove Kia today and let us make this holiday season the merriest one yet. So no matter your credit history, drive into the holidays with a smile and a new Kia from Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or visit us at elkgrovekia.com today. And happy holidays from
Elk Grove Kia.
This holiday season, Good Guys Heating and Cooling is turning up the warmth and spreading joy with our Toys for Tune-Ups promotion. Schedule your tune-up or troubleshooting appointment, and with a donation of a new unwrapped toy at the time of your service, we'll waive the fee. It's our way of giving back and making a difference in the lives of local children who might not have the Christmas that every child deserves. All toys will benefit Children's Hope, a wonderful local foster charity right here in Sacramento. Call Good Guys Heating and Cooling at 530-GOOD-AIR to schedule your appointment, or book online at goodguysheatingcooling.com. Happy holidays from the Good Guys family. License number 1057-618.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
I'm filled with gratitude for the Golf to Go show guests who have trusted us with their time, their thoughts, and their dreams. People like NBC's Peter Jacobson, Angie Dixon from First Tee Greater Sacramento, former 49er great Steve Young, Sir Nick Faldo, the heralded team at Hagen Oaks like Ken Morton Jr., Tom Morton, PGA Golf to Go's resident on-air playing coach, Mike Woods, PGA Director of Golf, and all the PGA professionals and guests who have entertained us over this year's 52 shows. Thanks also to you, our loyal listeners who are there every week with compliments and suggestions when we might hit it out of bounds. Thanks also to the game that brings us all together, to the millions of men, women, boys, and girls who play the game. Thanks to the able-bodied, and thanks also to the programs that nurture those in need of a lift, like the California Eagles, PGA Hope, and many more. Thank you to Scott Marsh. We are fortunate to have lived life and had a chance to play the game. If that's your Golf to Go, I'm Frank LaRosa.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
It's my favorite time of the year. Folsom Lake Ford's year-end sell-a-thon with the low finance rates, special year-end savings, and zero down deals with approved credit. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters for over 30 years.
Live and local. This is Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Thank you for the texts and calls so far. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop, as Nate is holding it down with the Soulja Boy. You know, we could do our favorite songs of the year. We already did the Spotify Wrapped. We don't have to do that with Nate because we already know it would be 3-6 Mafia.
You guys are in love with
UCJ.
Drake, so let's
Excuse
chill
me?
out. You guys love Drake so much.
No,
I do.
I mean, I love Drake, but, you know, there's something wrong with the algorithm, but we know yours
It's an
is correct.
algorithm issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We know
Nice.
yours is
That's
correct.
right.
So shout
That's
out
okay.
Nate, holding it down on the 1s and 2s as we take you up to 2 p.m. And Dwight Howard had some things to say. At this point, he's just entertaining to me, right? I know he had the whole situation that we won't really get into, but I guess it's okay. I don't really know, but Dwight Howard is just still around, and he had some things to say. And he goes, this is a quote, "You know who could win them some games, LOL," talking about the Pistons. Isaiah Thomas, John Wall, Michael Beasley, Boogie Cousins, and me. That was Dwight Howard. So could that team, Michael Beasley, John Wall, Dwight Howard, Isaiah Thomas, obviously Celtics Isaiah Thomas,
Yep,
and Boogie Cousins. I guess the question isn't, could they beat there's two questions here. Could they beat the Pistons team?
Mm-hmm.
And could they win some games in the NBA?
It feels like that. Like they have a chance, which is crazy. Like, I mean, I'm not like, you know, any given any given day an NBA team can definitely lose to any collection of NBA talent. That's getting a little bit close. I don't love the DeMarcus and Dwight Howard big man combo.
Yeah, no.
But I think the spirit of what Dwight's saying might be there. Like, I feel like if we tried, we could probably throw together a roster that's like
Williams
competitive. Sure,
not officially.
Yeah, he might even be
Crawford.
like a little official. You know, he might have said he's retired, but you know, if you throw him enough money, I'm sure Lou would come back.
Jamal's
Crawford, like 40. That's the only problem with Jamal Crawford. Not saying he couldn't still ball and give you 10 to 15 points, but that would be my only fear with Jamal Crawford.
It's always hard to look these free agent lists because guys sign and then you say a name and somebody's like, he's actually in Orlando. Okay, well, I hear you. So I'm trying to figure out a group here. You got, this is just from a hoops hype.
I mean, you better throw Isaiah Thomas's name in there. Let's just put Isaiah as he's the all-time quarterback or whatever.
Yeah. Isaiah, Isaiah's he needs this. This guy needs this. I mean, Isaiah, you get to run point. We don't even need a backup point guard, brother. It's just you.
48 minutes of straight Isaiah
John Wall will
Thomas.
play the 2. Don't worry about that, brother. We got you. This is from November 2nd. So this is, I'm trying to, so you have, well, I'm not saying this guy because Kevin Porter. So I'm not saying that.
He unfortunately might not even be.
And that's kind of wild to have him number 1 on this list. For kind of wild. That's a little wild. This is written by Frank Urbina. A little wild on you, Frank.
Yeah, look out, buddy.
You have Jalen Noel.
Okay. Yeah. King. Well, I think he did get signed by somebody on a 10-day recently, but he was a King in training camp.
Wenyen Gabriel,
former King.
Okay. JaMychal Green.
Yeah, okay. I'm starting to believe this free agent team a little less, but okay, sure.
But you can combine it with the guys that Dwight has said, or if we're not remembering anybody else, somebody out there floating around. I'm out on Boogie.
Oh, I see Blake Griffin is technically an NBA free agent.
I'm out
not
on
that
Boogie.
he has a lot left, but
I'm in on Rudy Gay, though.
That's interesting. Yeah, like one
Take
more
out
season of Rudy
Boogie,
Gay.
put in Rudy Gay. You need a bucket
Yeah.
getter.
I like Austin Rivers, too.
Austin Rivers?
Yeah, I think he's got a little bit of something left.
Will Barton gets hot.
Will Barton? I'll take Will Barton.
That team can be.
Will Barton's a legitimate, like, fringe starter. I'm taking
that's what I'm saying.
I'm taking that.
Terrence Davis on the list.
We know that guy's able to get some buckets for sure. TJ Warren, I don't know if he's
TJ
signed
Warren, he
anywhere
was supposed
yet.
to be nasty. This name comes up whenever somebody's looking for a big man. Nerlens Noel.
Yeah.
Can I get a
Didn't even make it
Nerlens
to training
Noel
camp, but yeah.
anywhere? Okay, TJ Warren, as you said. Goran Dragic, lefty.
I think that there's a team here that could be made that definitely at least wins 2 games, I think we could say.
Diallo?
Hamidou Diallo, sure. I've liked his raw skills. I think that there's
all right. Now we're getting to
2
the
wins
Dwayne
is
Wades.
pretty like
Stanley Johnson.
We're not talking about a high bar here. It's Stockton King legend right now. Okay,
Dwayne Dedman.
Just whatever the opposite of a King's legend is what Dwayne Dedman is.
There's some guy, George Hill.
Yeah.
He runs around.
There are so many ex-Kings being thrown out here. It's not even funny.
This guy was supposed to be something. Quindary Weatherspoon.
Sure. Absolutely.
Okay, you got some guys. Austin Rivers pops up now.
There's something there. Yeah, I think 2 wins is really, really bad. Like, I mean, you see even a team like the Spurs that doesn't have a point guard, really doesn't have much NBA talent besides, Wemby and Trey Jones. And, I guess they have some NBA talent with Vassell and, they're whatever. Even they've got 5 wins. So it feels like if we're setting the market 2, I do feel like a team of free agents could probably get to 2 wins out of 30 games or whatever. Like that's pretty ridiculous. And I think that again just kind of points to how really terrible. I mean, not that anyone needs further.
You got to be
explanation
careful
on how
now
bad
because
it is,
everybody now is worried. Everybody's worried. Kings fans are worried.
I'm petrified.
Kings fans are worried. Warriors fans are worried. Everybody's worried to be that team. And speaking of, you have none other than Kyle Kuzma on the 5-25 Washington Wizards, who tweeted last night during halftime when the Pistons were up by 19 points.
Yeah.
At this point, it's like, don't be that team with the laughing emoji. And he got roasted.
Brother, you are that team.
He got roasted.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Talking about
what
Kyle?
are we talking about?
Those who live in glass houses shall not throw stones, my friend.
Why are we doing this?
I just, like to act like your situation is any better. Like, whatever. Sure, maybe Kyle goes to sleep every night and tells himself, ain't on me. Like, we ain't bad because of me. But, like, brother, you're still on a 5-win basketball team. You really can't talk. You really, like, I feel like, taking the losing streak side out of it, if my team loses to the Wizards, I'm going to be probably on the same level of upset as if my team loses to the Pistons. Now, again, like, remove the losing streak. Let's say the losing streak ended last night. Let's just act like that happened. I feel like losing to the Wizards is just as confusing because it's like, well, okay, we know Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole are just going to put up as many shots as possible. We should be able to beat a team like that. And at least the Pistons, again, I've said this the other day, the Pistons don't have a bad roster, which is what makes this 2-win season so confusing. They've got Cade Cunningham, who I think a lot of people still believe in. Bojan Bogdanovic is nice. Okay, last night in the second half, he was their best player. Jalen Duren's a good young piece. They
Jaden
got
Ivey's
some
trying to figure it out.
Yeah, if you look at him on the right night, last night, I was really impressed with Jaden Ivey.
Here's the problem. The guaranteed money, we got to get to a break. The guaranteed money for the Pistons is $235 million.
Okay.
The guaranteed money for 3 more wins for the Wizards is $425 million.
Oof.
That's why you can't talk, Kyle Kuzma.
They're paying twice the money. They get twice the wins.
Well, there you go. Maybe, hey, what a great business model.
It's an investment right
I'm
there.
sure the Wizards owner just feels like this is a great business model and a great investment. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, yes, it's going to get spicy here. Nate, help us with the name for Friday. We need a spicy, not wasabi Friday. That's for Wednesday. We got to think of something. If there is a hot sauce that starts with F, help us out. Jalapeno, no, that's a J. We'll think of something because Chris and I are about to have a conversation about Monty Bolaños' quarterback-y comments and where we fall as far as whether we agree or disagree that she crossed the line. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Timing is everything. And now is the time to buy, California, during the year-end sell-a-thon at your California Ford dealers. It's time for our biggest offers of the year on the entire Ford lineup of trucks and SUVs, like the built Ford Tough F-150, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years and counting, or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors, and the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. Now's the time to buy during the year-end sell-a-thon at your California Ford dealers with exclusive offers on your favorite Ford vehicles. And now's your time to get behind the wheel of the Ford truck or SUV you've always wanted. But time is running out. These offers absolutely end on January 2nd. Visit your California Ford dealer today, based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
California's largest Sportsman's Expo is back, January 18th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Get $3 off coupons at Big O Tires and O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Get to the action in Toyota's all-new Tacoma. Visit sportsexpos.com for locations, seminars, and show info. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 18th through 21st at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it. Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Christmas is in the air at Hanley's Kia. The season of giving back is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg, an EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride. At Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia, the season of giving back today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro
Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136-138.
Sports and subscribe.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. And this is from the 916 on the text line. That is outstanding, 916. That is the text of the day. This is a Frank's Red Hot Friday.
Ooh.
That's outstanding work. So we got.
I will say the only problem with that is Frank's ain't paying us.
No, Frank's ain't paying.
That sounds way too title sponsored.
Fiero Friday, Guy Fieri Friday, maybe.
I'm into that.
Fieri Friday.
Did I tell you the story about? So my daughter has really curly hair, but when it gets wet, it's slicked back, and I tried to convince my wife to let us dress her up as Guy Fieri for
Halloween.
Dye her hair blonde, bleach her hair.
She said no.
There's nothing cuter than baby Guy Fieri's.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
she
the
said
best.
no, but we're gonna try it again.
You get the flame T-shirt on and everything.
Yeah.
The
Come
white
on,
tips.
man.
Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
so
There's
sick.
always
Nothing.
next
I'm
time.
trying to go to Flavortown right now.
And by the way, I'm putting this out here now because we were at the game. When was that? That was against
been a while.
the T-Wolves.
Mhm.
Was that against the T-Wolves?
Yeah.
My baby, and I'm putting this out there. If you're listening, Scott Marsh, whoever needs to hear this, my baby will be in the next baby race.
Oh yeah, we do got to make that happen.
figure out when the next
we
baby
have to
race is
make that
because
happen.
she's been training and she will fly.
There's potential there because I think the most viewed video on the Sacramento Kings YouTube channel is a baby race from like 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
See, now the problem is I don't know when the next one is because she started crawling about a week and a half ago, and she's already starting to pull herself up.
Yeah.
So unless there's one coming within the next month,
I think
she might
walking's
be
okay,
walking.
is it?
We'll
I
get
don't-
For
Drapes
the baby
people
race?
on it.
Yeah, I'll have to look at the rules.
We'll
I'm
talk
pretty
to
sure
Drapes.
walking's okay.
We'll talk to Drapes for sure.
Yeah.
We'll talk to
Drapes
Drapes.
is going to get an earful
Well, yes, he really is on
about
this
this baby race.
on this Guy Fieri Friday, or from Robert Ortega on the Sac Chat and Fuego Friday. Yes, I will take that as well. Manny Too Legit. Fresno Chili Friday. I like that as well.
Does Fresno have like spicy chili? Is that a thing?
That's like
It's
a type of
of
chili.
chili.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Wow. Turn your mic off. You're in timeout for about a cool.
'Cause I didn't know what Fresno
That's
chili.
right.
My bad.
That's right. All right, let's get to it. So hopefully we don't blow through this break and Nate doesn't get mad at me as we talk about a now deleted from, again, so much happens between the time Chris and I get up and walk in here for crossover, for crosstalk with our guys, Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross. So a since deleted tweet, we do still have the audio because in this day and age, everything is still available, right? But Monty Bolaños, who is a host for Fox Sports Radio, from what I've seen, she has a show, I think, on Saturdays, but she's been doing a lot more work during this time because people are out, right? We've all been there in this industry. Hey, do you want to do this show? Do you want to do that show? Very similar. We understand. She's grinding. No hate on her from a career aspect. We hope she continues to do her thing. Now, what had happened was yesterday, I believe, she goes on a rant about the MVP. And what she has to say is she doesn't want to vote for Lamar because Lamar, she likes her quarterbacks, quote, quarterbacky. And she would rather vote for Christian McCaffrey. She thinks Christian McCaffrey is the better choice. I think Christian McCaffrey is totally deserving. But the quarterbacky comments got a lot of people upset. Let's hear what she actually said.
I want my quarterbacks to be quarterbacky. And to me, Lamar Jackson's just a great athlete, and he's done a really good job, and he had a great game against the 49ers. Prisoners of the moment. He is not the MVP. Christian McCaffrey is the MVP, and he has been. I've been saying this for weeks. It's not like I just decided after this game. That's what happened with Lamar. After this game, he jumped up, but he wasn't even in the conversation. He was like, an afterthought. It was always like Tua, no, it's Christian McCaffrey, and then 2. And I'm not a huge fan of Tyreek Hill because of what he does off the field, but a separate conversation. He's in the second one. If it's not Christian, it's Tyreek Hill. Those are the 2 that have stood out every week. Not Lamar Jackson. It's not that I don't like Lamar. It's not that he's not doing a good job.
So her take, a lot to get to there. A lot to get to. First of all, her take on Christian McCaffrey and Tyreek, we've had those same conversations.
Yeah.
There's no issue there. The issue is, I guess, what some people are calling coded language when she says, I like my quarterbacks to be quarterbacky.
Sure.
And what that quote unquote looks like. We don't even have to use the R word for us to have this conversation, because beyond that, I think it's funny that your choice is Christian McCaffrey, who a lot of people have taken away from Christian McCaffrey's success because he is not seen as a pure running back because of all that he does in the receiving game. So it's funny that a quarterback success needs to look a certain way, in Monty's opinion, but a running back, all success is success. So why are you taking away from Lamar because of what he can do with his legs, just because of what he can do with his legs? Really, the take, if she leaves out that first part, isn't a bad take at all. And now, so I've got to say all this because she deleted everything.
Everything has been, not even just her. Fox Sports deleted the tweet and everything.
Yeah, so originally, that post happened. That happened at, and I looked this up this morning, that happened at 3:18 p.m. yesterday. Everything kind of blows up, and within 2 hours, she goes on to say, I call Lamar quarterbacky, and now I'm a racist, because she was getting roasted by people, and then goes on to post all the passing yards. So again, nobody should be labeling you as anything, but you're just putting out passing yards as if that's the only way to measure a quarterback's success.
Yeah, no, I hear it. I just feel like this is, and normally I really don't feel this way, but to me, this does feel like a little bit of people looking for things that I don't see it there. Like, I don't see the race conversation here. I don't see this being like, yes, maybe she used a poor choice of words that could have been misconstrued into what's ended up falling out. But to me, I think what the root of what she was trying to say is, I just think that a quarterback should have better passing stats. I think that's what she's trying to say. She just didn't go about it the right way.
It's just her opinion.
I'm not going to. Yeah.
Yo, she went deep there.
Weeks.
I've been talking about this for weeks.
I don't know. I didn't really hear it there. I'm not saying, for everyone who is reading it, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just telling you, I'm not going to pick this to fight that battle, because I just don't really feel like the intent of what she was trying to say was anything close to what's being made out to be. And that's just my opinion.
She went from I guess the success to her opinion of what she wanted to look like. That was the issue. If you had what's the whole MVP comment, we spent so much time on this yesterday.
Yeah.
That's the problem with the MVP conversation. She wasn't really saying that she went from saying, oh, Lamar didn't do enough. If she had just stuck to that and said, I don't think he's been impactful. Right. To me, passing yards have nothing to do with how impactful a quarterback can be. There's a million different ways to make a salad.
Yeah.
The problem was she switched it up. And on top of that, I know we got to get to a break. On top of that, I think where she also messed up was the backlash happened, and me and you had a conversation off air because I was in a similar situation with the Beam conversation.
Sure, yeah.
And I thought, should I delete this? Should I take this down? Now, mine didn't have any racial undertones,
right.
But I'm getting cooked by a city that I just moved to, and my family's here, and I've got a lot on the line here.
Right.
But I said, you know what? I'm just going to let it ride. And I didn't say anything else. I responded to some people. 2 hours is not enough to get your thought process right. She was emotional. She throws out the racist word, which I'm not saying me and you went back and forth. There was a Peter Griffin meme. People were definitely alluding to that, and I'm sure some trolls and people straight up called her that.
Yeah.
I just think that if you put yourself in that situation, whether that was your intent or not, take a beat, take a breather, and you're not going to fix anything. Because again, what did you see? that second post had more quotes than good interaction. So I just think the whole way she went about it, and I know that she's probably kicking herself now because she's trying to make her way up.
Yeah,
we're
totally.
in very similar situations as
definitely.
her, so we would hate for this to ruin her career. But it just sometimes, even if you're not even if you don't believe what you said was wrong, just try to understand it. 2 hours was not enough to go ahead and try to put something out. And now the whole thing got deleted, but it didn't. I know. We got to get to it. We got to get to it. We'll bring this up later. We got a long show. We got to get to a break. Nate is giving me the Damian Lillard and or the Tyrese Halliburton. When we get back, we are continuing
weeks.
The great. I am late on my break by
weeks.
There you go. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, DaMichael Cole joins us, Grizzlies beat writer at Commercial Appeal, co-host of Locked On Grizzlies. We will have a conversation with him about the Grizzlies, who the Kings face New Year's Eve. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Chrysler's Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
Okay, but what about the last of the Dodge Chargers and the Challengers?
This month, save up to $5,000 off MSRP and get 0% financing for 72 months on the 2023 Dodge Charger SXTs and Challenger GTs with no payments for 90 days.
The savings and financing won't last long. Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
16,500 total net savings after 10,261 factor rebates and 6,239 dealer discount. Sample VIN 699,991. Rebates include 1,000 case equipment cash. Must have purchased qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and 500 first responder cash for members of eligible first responder association only. No payments for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 5,000 total net savings after 5,000 dealer discount. Plus 0% financing for 72 months on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. Equals $1,389 per thousand borrowed. 10 of this net savings. See dealer for details.
Hey, DC comic movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is playing Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the IMAX experience, for a limited time.
I'm gonna murder his family and burn his kingdom to ash. Get away from my son!
Experience this year's superhero film of the year on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen. Getting tickets is easy. Visit IMAX.com/Sacramento for showtimes and reserved seating. And don't miss Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom at the Esquire IMAX Theater this week.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Start learning a new language today at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Get ready for the Gin Blossoms at Gold Country Casino Resort. Get your tickets now at goldcountrycasino.com. The Gin Blossoms. January 13th at 8 p.m. Only at
Casino Resort.
Must be 21 or older.
Just 3 words tell you everything you need to know. They tell you why we employ more than 2,000 workers at our factory in Virginia Beach, and why over 10,000 local steel dealers are putting battery power in the hands of Americans. Just 3 words. Made in America. Real steel. Find yours at steelusa.com. The majority of steel products sold in America are made in America of U.S. and foreign materials. Batteries and chargers are sourced internationally.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except a stuffy nose.
Mommy.
That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed, keep out of reach of children.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK-AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Yes. We are back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. And we are joined on the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline, where all guests and callers join us. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop, by DaMichael Cole, Grizzlies beat writer and co-host of Locked On Grizzlies. DaMichael, thank you for taking so much time to join us for our last show of 2023.
Hey, I'm a privilege. So y'all brought me on the last show of the year. It make me feel like I'm somebody important. But,
That's right. Well, look, you were popping on social media when everything went down with Ja a couple of days ago, and you do some great work. So we'll get into all that, and we wanted to get to hear more from you. But before we get into all that, going on the court, how would you describe the Grizzlies season so far? I mean, they look like the Pistons to start. You get Ja Morant back, and you can't lose a game. We know he didn't play last night, and you lose to the Nuggets. But besides that, you have been rolling. How would you describe the Grizzlies season so far?
It's funny because you're saying the Grizzlies season, but around here they're calling the Grizzlies seasons. You know what it is? It feels like two different seasons in one, right? There's the first season that's pre-Ja, and then there's the second season. You know, when I was talking to a lot of the players, remember when Ja came back, it was the second night of a back-to-back, and we were out in Oklahoma, and I'm in the locker room with the guys, and they're like, it's about to feel like a new season. Like that was kind of the theme. You know, wow. This is an entire different season, you know, and it's kind of what they were taking on. Now the coaches, you know, Taylor Jenkins, you know, he's a coach, so he doesn't have that mentality. You know, he feels like those 25 games were critical in preparing them for that stretch. But for the players, it was more so like renewed energy. And Ja Morant, like, because you know, people look at it from the outside and they say, man, how does one player make a team so much drastically better? You're talking about a team that's 6-20 without him and 4-0 with him. But it's not that simple. It's basically the best way I can describe it, guys, is he's a connector for this team. Without him, you have a bunch of guys who are playing out of position in different positions. You know, I watched the Kings a decent amount. So if I would go back to the Kings last year, it's like if you have, you know, De'Aaron Fox out for a game, and then all of a sudden, you know, Malik Monk steps into the starting lineup and he becomes your number one option, and Keegan Murray, instead of most of his shots, you know, his rookie year being spot up 3-point shots and things like that. Now he has to be more creative as a scorer and things like that because someone has to pick up the load. And that's kind of what's happened in Memphis. You know, Desmond Bane basically has become a de facto point guard while John Morant is out. Jaren Jackson Jr. is amongst, has kind of developed into one of the best isolation scorers in the league. And it's happened because that's how he's had to play. So when Ja gets back, it's kind of like now everyone's settled back into the idea of roles. Now Dez can be kind of a secondary playmaker. Jaren can be a third option offensively. All these other guys who had to dribble and create shots for themselves can now just spot up, take easy looks. And, of course, they push the tempo and they get easier looks in transition because of it.
Now that Ja's back, I mean, yeah, you guys sit at 10 and 20 right now. What's like the hope or the goal for the Grizzlies this year? I mean, you definitely put yourself behind the 8 ball, but is there play-in hopes? I mean, playoff hopes? Is it just kind of try and recoup the season the best you can? What's really the hope out there for the Grizzlies this year?
They think they can do the thing, man. They think that playoffs and play-in are hopes. Now, from a realistic perspective, people like right now they're 10 and 20. A lot of people have thrown out the number. For the rest of the way, they'd have to go 31 and 21 to get to 41. If you look at the past couple years, when you talk about that 9th seed, 8th seed, 10th seed range, 41 wins has typically been kind of a good barometer to get you there. And the Grizzlies basically, if you go back to the win percentages from the last 2 years when they won 56 games a couple years ago, when they won 51 games last season, if they play at a comparable, win pace, then that would put them in position for a play-in or a playoff spot. And considering that they won their first 4 games without Ja, now they've won 4 out of 5. They are on that type of track. But as we know, as you guys know, the Western Conference is so tough, there's no let-up. Like, you win your first 4 games, it's like, okay, no sweat. Now you got to go to Denver, and now you got to go to the Clippers. And then when you get back home, you got to take on the Kings. So it's like, it's no let-up. But I'll say this. They still feel like if they get in that play-in, anything can happen. Remember, this is a Grizzlies team. It was only 3 years ago where Steph Curry, and this was the year Thompson was out. Remember, the Warriors kind of started getting something going with Steph Curry, Poole, Draymond Green, and they met the Grizzlies in the play-in, and no one gave the Grizzlies a chance that year. No one thought that they'd beat them. And John Morant, I think, had 36 points, made the game winner, and they ended up playing the Utah Jazz, the number 1 seed in the first round that year.
Talking to DaMichael Cole, Grizzlies beat writer, co-host of Locked On Grizzlies. All right, DaMichael, we got to talk about it because it was such a big story. And you were a bit in the middle of it with DMs from national analysts and things like that. When it comes to the Ja Morant dance controversy, where do you think the misunderstanding was? Some people saying that, well, if there were gun celebrations in the dance and he shouldn't have done it. Where do you think that misunderstanding was? And how do you think Ja should, I guess, I don't want to use the word behave, but how should Ja kind of go about things moving forward, as a lot of us here are trying to be our authentic selves, but not to a fault?
Yeah. I mean, you just summed it up at the end perfectly. That's kind of the battle with Ja right now. And quite frankly, from talking to him, everything that I sense is Ja wants to be Ja. He always says it, whether he's talking about it on the court, where he's talking about off the court. He always says, I just have to be Ja. Mm-hmm. So you get the sense that he's not going to lose track of who he is, in this process, because that's been the concern for a lot of people, right? They're like, man, like if you think about it, like it's like the league or fans, like they want him to act like, some like Ivy League Rhodes Scholar type kid or something. And that's just never been Ja Morant. Yeah. Right. It's not, like you're trying to make him something that he's not. And that's going to have a, impact on his mental and all that stuff. But here's the other side of it. Getting back to your point with the dance. I do think, like, when you break the dance down and you look at the dance, like he did it in New Orleans, which should have been the first thing that people, paid attention to. Like, it was kind of one of those, you're going to a city, it's like if you do, you go to Atlanta and you do an, Atlanta dance, or you go to LA and you do, a SoCal dance, or whatever the case may be. You go to Northern California, you do, one of those Bay Area dances or something like that. Like, that's kind of what it was. I will say this though. There is a part of me that thinks like, yeah, Ja has to understand, like, because of the position that he's kind of put himself in, that, when he does certain things, it's going to be ridiculed a little bit. Now, if he's willing to deal with that or not, then, that's up to him. Because at the end of the day, you can explain yourself and kind of clear yourself of the situation. But still, when you put yourself in a position where, he's doing the hand gestures and it looks like, he's doing, like holding doing like gun triggers, like with his hand. But at the same time, it's a popular New Orleans dance. Like, it's popular on TikTok. So I knew it in the moment what he was doing. And actually, guys, when I saw it, I didn't think that it was going to blow up. Because at first I just saw like, it was kind of those X pages or Twitter pages that just troll accounts.
Right.
So they're like, Jaws, doing it. And I'm just like, this will blow over. And then I wake up in the morning and I see, New York Post. I see, like national publications are talking about it. TMZ said apparent gun. And I was like, oh boy, I'm going to have to write about this, ain't I?
Yeah.
So yeah, I tell you what, though, it's basically this thing where Ja has to find that middle ground, right? Because he wants to be himself. Like, this is who Ja's always been. He's always been kind of, a big personality. He likes to dance. He likes to, talk trash on the court. Talk a little trash, in the media about what's happening on the court. But it's just certain ways about how his messages will be conveyed, that he has to be mindful of because of that position that he's put himself in.
All right, DaMichael Cole, Grizzlies beat writer, co-host of Locked On Grizzlies. One more, DaMichael, one more quick one before I let you go. This might be the hardest one. Look, man, 2-star point guards going up against each other. Who is more impactful? You can use more impactful. Who is better, whatever you want to call it. You're starting a franchise right now. De'Aaron Fox or Ja Morant?
Man, you tricked me when you said to start the franchise right now. Because if I'm starting a franchise right now, I'd say Ja because, he's a little bit younger. I think there's more room to grow in his game where when I watch De'Aaron Fox, he's so polished. Like, he's a better player right now. Like, I love watching him because when you look at De'Aaron Fox when he came out of college, it was kind of similar to Ja. It was the speed, it was the athleticism. But when you watch him play now, he barely uses that stuff. Yeah. It's more just getting to his spots on the court. He said, I want to get to the mid-range, on the right side of that. And he gets to his spot and he makes his shots. Like, he plays so polished. And I think this is just who he's going to be for the rest of his career. I still don't think we know what Ja is going to be yet. Like, we have an idea that he's just going to be this super explosive point guard. But what's he going to be when, is he going to learn, like, that De'Aaron Fox level where he's become this guy who can change paces and just, if he wants to play fast, he can beat you that way. He can slow it down. When I watch De'Aaron Fox, I just love to watch, like, how polished his game has become from, his rookie season. So simple answer is, if I'm starting franchise from the ground up, I'm choosing Ja because of, I just think, like, we see it right now with this Grizzlies team, like his playmaking, his ability to push the ball in transition, the paint pressure that he puts on teams. Like, you have to collapse the paint. You just need decent shooters around him and you're going to have a lot of success. De'Aaron Fox is the better player right now, though. I don't want to get lost in that point. I do think that Fox is the better player right now. It's a little bit because he's older, but he's just super polished. Like, and then the two-way part of it. Like, I like the fact that a lot of point guards don't guard point guards these days, but De'Aaron Fox, seeing him guard on the ball, it moves me, man. Like, I really like seeing that. It's old school. When he plays the Grizzlies, you see him guard Ja Morant and things like that. And I just love to see, a point guard who's willing to guard Steph Curry, willing to guard Ja Morant, and then go give him buckets on the other end.
There it is. DaMichael Cole, Grizzlies beat writer, co-host of Locked On Grizzlies. DaMichael, thank you very much and enjoy the game. I know we will on New Year's Eve, and we will definitely have you back on. Look, if the Grizzlies keep doing their thing, we might be having a conversation before the playoffs or during the playoffs.
Yeah, hey man, don't count them out yet. Just keep a little close eye on them in the standings, and we'll see where it goes.
Definitely. Happy New Year, DaMichael. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, Happy New Year's, guys. Take care.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, in 2012, a very small number of players averaged over 20 points per game in the NBA. There are currently more than double that. What does that mean? We'll discuss. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers' final road game of the regular season is Sunday in D.C.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide for Debo. Made the catch on the back shoulder. Touchdown!
San Francisco!
And a back shoulder banger for Deebo Samuel.
San Francisco continues its quest for the NFC's top seed. 49ers and Commanders. Sunday at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Timing is everything. And now is the time to buy, California, during the year-end sell-a-thon at your California Ford dealers. It's time for our biggest offers of the year on the entire Ford lineup of trucks and SUVs, like the built Ford Tough F-150, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years and counting, or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors, and the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. Now's the time to buy during the year-end sell-a-thon at your California Ford dealers with exclusive offers on your favorite Ford vehicles. And now is your time to get behind the wheel of the Ford truck or SUV you've always wanted. But time is running out. These offers absolutely end on January 2nd. Visit your California Ford dealer today, based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, last show of 2023. And we're going out with a bang. Thank you to DaMichael Cole, Grizzlies beat writer, co-host of Locked On Grizzlies. Great conversation with DaMichael. We will have that posted on YouTube if you missed it, or if you're on YouTube, you can scroll backwards if you want to catch it. And also on the Sactown Sports app at SactownSports.com if you want to catch that interview. Great stuff from DaMichael. We will definitely be talking to him again if the Grizzlies continue to do their thing. So we will have that and more from DaMichael Cole and the Grizzlies if they're able to keep it rolling. Something was brought up yesterday that we want to discuss as well as we continue to have this conversation about not necessarily viewership. We did so much of that yesterday, but just where the game is and what any of this means. So in 2012, only 12 players in the NBA averaged over 20 points per game. Currently, there are 41 players right now averaging over 20 points per game.
Can add 42 to that, actually. DeJounte Murray just got onto the list yesterday.
42.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's 30 more.
Yeah.
Okay. What does it mean, I guess, is the quickest way to figure out what we're doing here? Because I don't know. But I would say, to compare to the king that is the NFL, it's the same thing. Every year, somebody else is breaking total yards this and passing yards that. So to me, they're one and the same.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of view it in the same light. I think all leagues are trying to emphasize offense with their rules, however it may be, whether it be actually on paper or just spiritually telling referees, like, hey, let some things go, or hey, make sure that you definitely call these things. I mean, it feels like the Joel Embiid free throw thing has become a bigger thing this year. I think that could maybe, not just Joel, but I think there are a couple other guys who get the benefit.
Bad clips out there from Joel.
Yeah, they get the benefit of some beneficial whistles, and that's going to raise scoring. You have, situations like we were just talking about with DaMichael, where, you don't have Ja Morant there, so Desmond Bane's scoring more, Jaren Jackson scoring more. I also just think it's a sign that the NBA is as talented as it's ever been, because looking at the list of those 42 guys who score over 20 points per game, there's like 3 or 4 that are puzzling or you might not guess, but for the most part, a lot of the names make sense. I mean, I'm looking at like Cam Thomas is surprising just because you look at the other names that surround him. He's not at the level of Paul George, Jaylen Brown, Kyle Kuzma. Let's see here. You might be surprised. I mean, DeJounte Murray's at 20 points, but even that makes a little sense. Franz Wagner is now up at 20 points. Scotty Barnes, I guess, being at 20 points is a little bit of a shocker, but to me, it's just a sign of how healthy this league is right now.
Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out what the difference is. Is it just better young talent? what is the
I would
difference
say so.
besides, I guess, no hand?
Yeah.
Because, in 2012,
Pace of play,
but in 2012,
three-pointers.
there was no hand checking.
No, yeah.
So
correct.
it's not. This isn't 1992, right? This is 2012. So it's a very similar game to what was being played in 2012. I think it's number one. It's the 3-pointers.
Yeah,
right.
I
would assume
that's why
three-pointers.
De'Aaron's at 30 right now.
Right. It's the 3-pointers. That's the biggest change to me. And honestly, it's not to go Darwin here, but the evolution of these guys, right?
Yeah.
These big men that are the Kevin Durant's that
Totally.
are coming in, that are shooting threes. Even the Brook Lopez's are shooting threes. That was in 2012. That wasn't happening. We're still banging down low. And if you're a big man, you're a big man. I think that's the difference. These guys, to your point with De'Aaron, these guys who were focusing on different things, and even, the Chris Pauls of the world that we got to, okay, my job is the mid-range, and then we have Pager, whoever, I'm going a little bit too far back here.
Right.
Those are our 3-point shooters. Kyle Korver is our 3-point shooter. Now everybody has a little bit, and you're almost a pariah if you don't.
Yeah.
Right. You also have, Goran Dragic, we just talked about. He's probably playing right now with, if he had a better jump shot. And some of these guys, Ricky Rubio, guys like that, who, hey, they got caught in between. I think what's interesting, we got to get to a break. I told Nate we'd hit this one. It's really interesting how certain guys in that middle ground, where that 2012 to now, the game literally changed while they were playing. And as they say, either get with it or get lost. And some guys did. Some guys got lost. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, we have some of the best audio of the year. We also have best game of the year, story of the year, and we already mentioned the biggest L of the year. And at 12 o'clock, Lake Lewis Jr., who is a Commanders insider for ABC News, will join us to talk Niners at Washington. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings road trip continues Friday in Atlanta.
The Sabonis backdoor cut. Keegan off the bounce with a two-hand flush.
Catch the Kings and the Hawks Friday at 4:30 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
It's Kia's season of giving back at Folsom Lake Kia. Get low year-end prices and payments, plus low finance rates and even zero down deals with approved credit. Shop Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 20 years.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't. Right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. People come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort. See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one in your neck of the woods. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Knee, foot, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville. Christmas is in the air at Hanley's Kia. The season of giving back is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg, an EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride. At Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia, the season of giving back today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136138.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblett of Hoblett Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for the Chryslers Wrap Up the Year sales event?
This month, you can save up to $16,500 off MSRP on 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs. With over 600 new Ram trucks available, your perfect new truck is waiting for you at the Hoblett Ram Truck Center. Plus, no payments for 90 days.
And what about those brand new Dodge Hornets everyone's talking about?
This month, you can lease a new 2024 Dodge Hornet RT plug-in hybrid for only $199 a month for 27 months. That's over $5,500 in total savings.
Now's the best time to get the vehicle you need at Hoblett. Search, select, and save at HoblettDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblett, period.
16,500 total net savings after 10,261 factory rebates and 6,239 dealer discount. Sample VIN 699,991. Rebates include 1,000 case equipment cash. Must have purchased qualifying case equipment from authorized dealer and 500 first responder cash for members of eligible First Responder Association only. No payment for 90 days on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 5,500 total net savings after 2,000 factory rebates and 3,500 dealer discount. 27-month lease with 3,995 due at signing plus tax and license fees on approved credit through Ally Financial. 7,500 max miles per year, 25 cents per mile for excess miles. 20 of each net savings.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Couple of headlines here. The Kings haven't won a game in Atlanta since November 8th. 2019. Where were you in 2019?
I don't know.
It was a completely different world.
Like,
literally.
I'm supposed to know.
Literally.
The fact that it's about to be 2024 is nuts, especially when you think about, how far removed we are from being stuck in our houses for that entire year. It's like,
it was sick.
It both feels like 3 years ago, but also at the same time feels like it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a wild
weird.
time.
It was
So
weird.
Can the Kings get back on track? They have not won in Hotlanta.
Do you want to guess the line tonight? Do you guys know it?
I don't know it. If it's
Just
in
guess.
Atlanta, I'll say Atlanta's really bad. Low key, like, Atlanta doesn't catch a lot of flack, but they're 12 and 18 for no reason.
I don't want to go more than I'm going to say that they're not happy with the odds makers aren't happy with the Kings right now. I'm going to say Kings are favored by 5.5.
Oh, that's a great number. I would probably have said 5, but I'll say Kings by. Man, Atlanta's not good. I'll say Kings by 7.
Wow. Okay. Well, I thought you guys were going to go a different way with that. Well, I think the line's moved a bit, but Kings by 1. So it's close.
They're tricking off games, man.
Inconsistency.
I want to say this morning Kings were plus 1.5, but the money has moved significantly. What I'm seeing is almost 90% of the bets money line are for the Kings.
Interesting. I mean, rightfully so. Again, like the Hawks are garbage, and I know you at the same time you just reel off that the Kings haven't won there in 4 years, but I don't know. Like, that's not really an environment that I would think is a hostile environment or anything that's tough to really play in.
Well, to be fair, they probably only play there once a year.
They do. Yeah.
So it's and I believe it's specifically it's in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
So they're 0 for, I would assume 0 for their last 3. That's not as ridiculous, or 0 for the last 4.
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the injury report to see if maybe there's even something there that's maybe somebody's getting off the injury report that's been on there for a while. I see AJ Griffin and DeAndre Hunter have both been out, which would be good for the Kings because that's really Atlanta's only forward presence.
Know. But that just means that they've lost 3 games to me, right?
Yes, yeah, that just means they've
if
lost
they
3
even went in 2020. We don't even, did they even go in
That's a good point. Right. That could have been like a strange loophole in that stat.
So I am not moved by that. I am more moved by the fact that the Kings have lost 3 of their last 4.
Yeah, for sure.
And they have to play an early game, a 4:30 game. I'm more worried about that than the fact they haven't won in Atlanta. Go get some lemon pepper wings and you'll figure it out.
Definitely.
Got a little bit of news here from Jason Dumas, friend of the show, who is on 95.7 airwaves, and they spoke with Dusty Baker. Dusty Baker told them he's talked to Larry Baer about a possible role with the Giants and plans to talk to Farhan soon. So there could be and he obviously retired from managing, but Dusty Baker could be joining the Giants organization. I would be thrilled for that. You can take.
It's just a great guy.
Great guy. I don't know if his son is still in the league. I know he got drafted out of Cal. So, yeah, Dusty Baker, a little bit of news there.
Interesting.
If he ends up rejoining the Giants in whatever capacity, I would be very excited for that. Also excited to get into this game of the year. We have a little bit of sound as well. Some of the games that we have on the list. Chris, you want to go ahead and take us to them?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely more viewed from a Northern California kind of prism, if you will. But I think this one would qualify for, even if you were to do a national game of the year, I think Kings Clippers definitely deserves to be on every single list that's going to include any sort of best performance or game of the year. And I mean, it was a 176-175 double overtime, just war. It wasn't even just a battle. It was long enough to be a full-blown war. The Kings force overtime on a sick Malik Monk 3 where he relocates from the corner, and De'Aaron finds him perfectly right in the shooting pocket, goes into overtime. A lot of people say it's the best played basketball game they've seen in their lives. I'm right for it. In a 176 to 175 game, you'd probably assume not a lot of defense was played. That's not even true. They were just a ridiculous level of shot making from everybody involved. I think Malik and De'Aaron both had 40 pieces.
Malik had 45.
Oh my gosh.
De'Aaron had 42.
Oh my. And Kawhi Leonard was absolutely insane in that game as well. Just a ridiculous night.
Here we have a highlight from it. Here we go.
Man. Batum to Plumlee, knocked away. Fox with a steal. Fox now heads up the floor. 40 seconds to go. Everybody's on their feet here in Southern California. Fox off the dribble. He scores the 15-footer. The Kings have taken the lead. 36 seconds to go. It's 176-175. De'Aaron Fox has 42 points with that hit.
Oh my gosh.
Kawhi Leonard had 44. Always shout out G-Man. Paul George had 34. Norman Powell had 24. What a game.
My goodness.
What a game.
Insane. I don't think we'll ever see a game that even approaches the level of basketball played that night. It was just an incredible night. And there's so many people, I've talked about it before. If I travel at all and mention the job I have or the fact that I'm a Kings fan or whatever, watch the Kings a ton, first thing so many out-of-towners bring up is, dude, last year, the first or only game I watched from the Kings Clippers, best game I've ever seen. It's like it's reached that level where it's just everybody universally knows how crazy that game is, and it was just awesome to watch, and came at the perfect time of the year too. Post All-Star game, it was really a sign of, oh, this Kings team is like real. Like there was a lot of question of, are they just going to slide here in the second half of the season? No, that game really was symbolic of a lot of things, and really catapulted the Kings season into being something legit. Game number 2 for game of the year. We talked about the first meeting between these two teams, but the part 2 was definitely the redemption story of the San Francisco 49ers over the Philadelphia Eagles. After stalling out in their first 2 possessions, they scored like 6 straight touchdown drives or something insane like that. Go on to win 42-19 after talking just immensely after losing in the NFC Championship game. They backed it up. And not often, I feel like in sports, especially in these days, do you have a team that talks a lot about, oh, just wait till next time. Oh, y'all didn't see us the first time. Wait until you actually get us at full strength. And then they actually back it up on the road. Absolutely insane. Here's a sound from that game.
Deebo Samuel is loose. Touchdown! San Francisco, the Deebo dash.
What a play call. Quick perimeter screen out to the left. Quick snap. Debo's waving bye-bye to
Just
this
their touchdown of the
Philadelphia
game.
crowd.
Yeah. I was just about to say, was that touchdown number 1, 2, or 3?
Yeah. At this point, do you feel comfortable? And I know Brock has improved from last season, but it was really similar when they were rolling. Do you feel comfortable saying that, and Nate, you can hop in on this too. Do you feel comfortable saying that the Niners would have won? And if Brock never got hurt, and number 2, to take it a step further, do you think the Niners beat the Chiefs? Why not? It's 2023. It's the last show of the year.
I don't feel comfortable saying either one of those.
Okay.
I don't, because I've seen heartbreak in the same situations.
Okay.
I don't.
Good on you.
They're different teams too. Like the Eagles are undoubtedly worse roster-wise this year.
Yeah.
Hargrave makes the Niners better this year. Chase Young makes the Niners better this year.
Look at you. What kind of fan
I'm not
are
saying
you?
they're going to lose for sure, but I'm saying I'm not like,
because that
they're
was the
going
thing.
to win.
Everybody said after they beat the brakes off the Eagles, well, they definitely would have won last season. That was the idea, but good on you, Nate.
I'm a double no there. I'm a double no. Yeah, I don't think you can confidently say that they would have beaten the Eagles, and there's no way of saying. I mean, the Eagles put together as good of a performance as you really could have in that Super Bowl, and even still.
You think the Niners could have done it though, Chris?
There's a world where they could have, but I would not have.
So
I would
you're
not
pretty,
have
and the Niners are much.
I would not have
the Niners
said
are
that
better
it would
this
have
year,
happened,
so it's not fair.
Yeah.
I'd say like 20% better, which is pretty significant.
Chase Young as well, and Chase Young's return.
The O-line's playing
Washington.
better, even though they're all in the infirmary right now.
Yeah,
I mean, and the competition's a lot worse. Like the Chiefs are a lot worse. I mean, from head to toe, I don't think that there's a team in the NFL besides the Niners that's as good as the Chiefs or Eagles were last year.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
No, that's a good point.
Next one
is another Kings game. This one is going to live in infamy, at least in my heart, for a really long time. Game 1 of the NBA first round of the playoffs. The Sacramento Kings take on the Golden State Warriors in what was an incredibly emotional night for the fans that have been, or that had been, I should say. That's nice to say. Had been waiting 16 years for a Kings playoff game. It was everything anyone would want it to be and more. I remember going into that game saying, I'm really just in it for the pregame intros, and anything that happens after that is whatever. That happens. I asked so long just for this day to be a thing. I can't be upset at anything that happens besides it just being a thing that happened. And then the Kings actually won the game. Yeah. Steph misses a potential game-tying opportunity at the buzzer. Pandemonium ensues, to quote G-Man. Incredible. I mean, from the atmosphere, from fans giving them a standing ovation with 15 minutes still until the game even started. The energy was ridiculous from tip until the final whistle. I just don't know if I'm ever going to feel an environment that was even close to that. And here's just a little taste of how it sounded at the end.
You couldn't ask for more drama in the opening playoff game. Inbounds pass to Curry. He turns, he wheels, he fires, he misses. Barnes with a rebound, and Sacramento has won game number 1. After 17 years without a playoff experience, they have risen to the occasion. They were down by 10, not once, but twice in the third quarter, and they battled their way back. They took a 1-point lead into the fourth. They opened up a 6-point advantage at 122 to 116. They hung on as the Warriors fought their way back, and Sacramento gets the victory. The final score is 126 to 123. And let me tell you, if you can't sense it, if you can't feel it through the radio, this place is absolutely nuts.
Booming. It was absolutely booming. Shout out G-Man, who just absolutely perfectly encapsulated that game in that moment. And then real quick before we have to go to break, no sound here, and we're going to reveal all the winners in our final segment when we do our Dog of the Year segment at the end of the show. So definitely stay tuned for that. But of course, had to throw this one in there. I don't know if it quite fits the tone of the other games, but maybe it's a little bit of recency bias, but to me, Keegan Murray's 47-point night the other day, the 11 straight threes, 12 threes made in the game, a franchise record. Just an incredible night. I got to be there as a fan, which was a whole different experience. I can't imagine if everybody gets to experience something like that. Man, it was something special. And here's just a little bit of how Keegan's historic night sounded.
Here's Sabonis looking for a seam. Gives to Keegan. Heat check. 3 on the way. He's got a new career scoring high. He's also got a career high in triples made in a game. It's his 9th. And after a 13-point second quarter, he's got 14 in the third. Crowd still buzzing. Keegan, quick catch, quick strike. There's another one up in the lights and in the well. 10 3-pointers made. Keegan Murray putting on an all-time scoring exhibition tonight. Has 36 points for Sacramento. Now over on the wing to Keegan. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points. There's a desperate heave from midcourt by Taylor Horton-Tucker that's off target. And the third quarter comes to conclusion with Keegan Murray having scored 26 points in the last 12 minutes. He had 13 in the previous quarter. He has 45 in the game. That's the most prolific scoring night by any King this season. And he's now 12 of 13 from downtown. And he's within 2 of the NBA's all-time three-point record. Inside 3 minutes to go, give and go, run to the rack. Keegan scores it. I thought he was on the bench. He's up to 47. Didn't mean to short you, number 13. So he has now equaled Mitch Richmond among the Sac era highest scoring games at 47 points.
Wow. How about that? Absolute chills. Keegan Murray, 47-point night, 12 threes on the night, an absolutely incredible performance, an incredible night to be in the building. Very rarely, if ever, have I seen somebody just get that hot in Golden One Center. It was great to have it be Keegan and hear those chants rain throughout the arena. Like I said, we're going to give our winners for all these categories at the final segment right before Crosstalk today. So definitely stay tuned for that.
Got to get to a break. When we get back. Best audio of the year, and at 12 o'clock, Lake Lewis Jr., Commanders Insider for ABC News. And we do have a injury update on somebody very important on the Commanders.
Oh, no.
We will get to that when we get back, and more. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper. Now, if you've been on the fence about buying your first electric luxury car, then go see my good friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. It's love at first drive. Heck, for me, it was love at first sight. My new Mercedes-Benz EQ is out there in the parking lot right now. So you can go see my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Drive one of these? I dare you. It's a Drapes challenge. Just 45 minutes from Sacramento, right off of I-5 or online at mbofstockton.com.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
California's largest Sportsman's Expo is back, January 18th at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Buy the latest gear, meet the experts, learn about fishing, hunting, boating, and off-roading. See Toyota's all-new Tacoma. This is the place to discover your next adventure, nearby or around the world. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, January 18th through 21st at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
This holiday season, Elk Grove Kia is here to make your dreams come true. With over 100 years of combined experience, our expert financing team is ready to help you get a new ride in 2024. Have repos, late payments, or even faced bankruptcy? No problem. At Elk Grove Kia, we believe everyone deserves a sleigh full of joy, and we're here to make it happen. And the gifts just keep coming. Purchase any new Kia today, and you won't make a single payment until next year. That's right, no payments until 2024. Now that's how you close out the year in a new ride from Elk Grove Kia. Plus, with Elk Grove Kia, there's no need to tighten your belt this holiday season because we're offering no money down. You heard that right. No money down and no payments until 2024. Santa may have his reindeer, but we've got the horsepower. Visit Elk Grove Kia today and let us make this holiday season the merriest one yet. So no matter your credit history, drive into the holidays with a smile and a new Kia from Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or visit us at elkgrovekia.com today. And happy holidays from Elk Grove Kia.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockroll with Retirement Security Centers with the Weekly Economic Update. As we put the finishing touches on 2023, it is common to dream about the future. According to Investopedia, the price tag of what is considered the American dream, listed for some as marriage, 2 kids, healthcare, cars, home purchase, and college, is $3.4 million, while the average lifetime earnings of all Americans across various education levels is $2.3 million. With the large items such as raising children, home purchase, and healthcare, assuming 39 years of family premiums until age 65, taking up so much of the need, where does the $715,000 retirement income need come from? Some of this will come from Social Security and company pensions, but the rest is up to you to value yourself enough to pay yourself first. With signs showing 54% of Americans have stopped or reduced their retirement savings due to inflation, maybe it's time to flip that around and focus on you in 2024 and start making your dream a reality. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Frank Cockroll is a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, a broker-dealer member SIPC and registered investment advisor. Retirement Security Centers is not an affiliate of Lincoln Financial Advisors.
It's my favorite time of the year. Folsom Lake Ford's year-end sell-a-thon with the low finance rates, special year-end savings, and zero down deals with approved credit. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters for over 30 years.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. We have news from Adam Schefter. This broke about an hour-ish ago. Commanders, Jacoby Brissett is being added to the injury report due to hamstring tightness and will be listed as questionable for Sunday's game versus the 49ers. If he can't start, Sam Howell, who the Commanders recently benched, would.
That sounds like a tough situation.
Awkward.
Yeah, that's it's a little bit weird. What do you think? What do you think happened between?
That's what I'm saying.
Between the time
Jacoby,
that Jacoby
what were
got
you
named,
doing?
Yeah, is this like a practice? Like, did he maybe pull a hammy in practice or something?
I have no clue at all.
It's not great.
I mean, the Niners, and we could look up the line, the spread on that game,
Right.
because, I mean, the Niners, there's just no excuse.
No.
And we're going to talk to Blake Lewis Jr. here in about 10 minutes, who is a Commanders insider and does good work for ABC News. And, I mean, the Commanders are third right now in the draft order.
Yeah, that's crazy. You told me that this morning, and I was like, "There's no way."
They have 4 wins. They got 4 wins.
I didn't realize.
The Sam Howell experiment. Hey, that's the thing. That I don't really mind what the Commanders did. Obviously, I'm not a Commanders fan.
Right.
But you tanked. You said, hey, we'll see.
Yeah.
You bring in Eric Bieniemy. I don't know. We'll ask Blake Lewis Jr. what he thinks about Ron Rivera and where that's going. But they're going to be, either way, they're going to be in the market for a quarterback. And you would assume that Sam Howell is done. Jacoby Brissett, who is just the world's best backup.
Yeah.
I guess not in this case. And there's just no way the Niners are going to lose this.
There really shouldn't be. There should not be a universe in which the Niners lose this game at all. I mean, yeah, when you have a backup quarterback in for an already 4-win team, I mean, this should be easy. If Sam Howell plays, it should be honestly even easier. Sam Howell leads the NFL in interceptions.
Right.
If you're going to give the Niners extra possessions and also not capitalize on possessions that you have, there's no way that you can beat this Niner team. It's just not possible.
I think the way you look at this game, if you're the Niners, is our guys
don't get hurt. That's all I'm looking at.
Your guys should not be on the field when the fourth quarter clock hits 0.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Go out, take care of business, and rest. We'll see some more Sam Darnold.
Need it.
About halfway through the fourth, maybe earlier than that.
See some Ronnie Bell action, maybe.
Ronnie Bell.
Come on.
Danny Gray. I forgot about Danny Gray. I saw he was on the injury list for a shoulder, and same idea.
Yeah.
How, brother?
Yeah.
I didn't even remember that man was on the roster.
Yeah, I completely forgot.
My joke back in the day was that Ronnie Bell or Danny Gray does not exist without Trey Lance. Because he never caught a pass from anybody else other than Trey Lance. I thought he was in Dallas with Trey Lance. I just never seen it. So maybe some guys can get some work in against the Commanders. We will talk to Lake Lewis Jr. in a few minutes here. Let's get to some of this audio for best audio of the year.
Okay.
This is Mike Malone. Festive.
Very, very festive.
At the parade.
Is Brucey B going anywhere? Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Hey, we run this shit back. We run this shit back. Oh, yeah. Come on. Get loud. Get loud.
There is no better vibes than parade vibes.
No.
It's so incredible. And like, I hope one day we get to experience it here in Sacramento, but God bless everyone who enjoys their time on parade, because man, there's just nothing better. And you truly hear people's like ultimate level of happiness when they are in front of that microphone. And like you said, they've started to get a little bit festive.
Do you know Dave texted him during the run about what he drinks, if it's Fireball or something? Dave was texted Michael Malone during the morning show live. And because they were trying to figure out what he drinks. This was on the playoff run, so not even to that point.
Right.
So I don't think he ever got an answer. I think Malone left Dave on red.
Wow.
Love it. Love to hear it. But that wasn't the only audio, fantastic audio that came from the Nuggets championship. Here is the saga that was Nikola Jokic trying to decide whether or not he wanted to even attend the parade.
So I'm curious what you are feeling right now, and if you're looking forward to a parade coming up in Denver.
When is parade? When is parade?
Thursday.
No. I need to go home. Okay. You know that I told that I don't want to stay on parade, but I f***ing want to stay on parade. This is the best.
Love it. So good.
Change of heart.
I love it so much. Nikola Jokic, just absolutely incredible. I could, it's very on brand for him to not want to do the parade, though. For him to come around and say he really wants to parade it was amazing at the time. But not as amazing. If I'm gonna be a little homery here, nothing to me is as amazing as all of the clips that we heard from Sacramento Kings unanimous head coach of the year Mike Brown last year. Was just a walking soundbite, and he really set the tone from the beginning of the year with this absolute gem.
Hey! Turn the jets on! Turn the jets on!
So good. And like the best part is the video. I mean, I don't even know if the audio fully does it justice, because the first 5 seconds is him in a full-blown 100% effort sprint. Say,
do you have on Vans while he's sprinting?
almost guaranteed to have Vans on in that moment. Just the absolute best that's ever done it, and that's Mike Brown with the Turn the Jets On. And Nate, do we have time for G-Man's call of the 16th year, or the 16-year drought? Or
I think we should go for that.
Okay.
After the interview.
Okay, sounds
right.
good.
Yeah,
so you'll hear that later.
Yeah, turn the bleeping Jets on.
So good.
There you go. Just a full sprint. That really set the tone.
It did. It really did.
For the whole season. Got to get to a break. When we get back, Lake Lewis Jr., Commanders Insider, ABC News, will join us to talk Commanders, Niners, and who the heck will be their quarterback, not just this week, but moving forward. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers' final road game of the regular season is Sunday in D.C.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide for Debo. Made the catch on the back shoulder. Touchdown! San Francisco!
And a back shoulder banger for Deebo Samuel.
San Francisco continues its quest for the NFC's top seed. 49ers and Commanders, Sunday at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a non-profit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Hey, DC comic movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is playing Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the IMAX experience, for a limited time.
I'm gonna murder his family and burn his kingdom to ash.
Experience this year's superhero film of the year on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen. Getting tickets is easy. Visit IMAX.com/Sacramento for showtimes and reserved seating. And don't miss Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom at the Esquire IMAX Theater this week.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill is turning me into a pro. Napoleon Grills has features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just go to Napoleon.com for your nearby Napoleon Grills dealer. Napoleon Grills. Now is the time for the best selection of grills and fine accessories for the holidays.
Timing is everything. And now is the time to buy, California, during the year-end sell-a-thon at your California Ford dealers. It's time for our biggest offers of the year on the entire Ford lineup of trucks and SUVs, like the built Ford Tough F-150, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years and counting, or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors, and the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. Now's the time to buy during the year-end sell-a-thon at your California Ford dealers with exclusive offers on your favorite Ford vehicles. And now's your time to get behind the wheel of the Ford truck or SUV you've always wanted. But time is running out. These offers absolutely end on January 2nd. Visit your California Ford dealer today, based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, You probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort. See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one in your neck of the woods. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Knee, foot, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Gibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
This is Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. A lot of conversations to be had. You have Jacoby Brissett now trying to stay on the field. I'm just curious in these situations, brother, what was going on?
Yeah.
Right? Had you honestly not been
I
stretching?
I would wrap myself up in plastic wrap. You're not going to see me. I'm going to be in bubble wrap, all that for the next couple days. The second I'm named starter with a couple days left, I'm like, Coach, you sure you don't just want me breaking down film or something? Mm-hmm. Like, you really want me out there? It's just, I know you.
But it is the Commanders.
Reps,
and what's the – well, he's got to get ready for his – I don't know what the contract is with the Commanders, but he's got to get ready for his next backup role.
Right, wherever that
somewhere. Well, it's funny because we talk about different types of quarterbacks.
Right.
He is just your standard back. You have bridge guys.
Yep.
He's not even a bridge guy.
No.
He is almost an emergency guy.
Yeah.
If you could be a non-starter quarterback, what type of quarterback would you want to be?
I really like the just career backup. I have no problem with that. To me, that's the best job there is in sports. I mean, of course, you're one play away from potentially having a mountain of pressure on your back,
right.
But to just kind of know, like, there's no way I'm getting in this game, even if this dude throws 4 interceptions today. Probably not even going to see the field, and there's no illusion of trying to. Of course, like, I don't know, just a lunch pail guy. That would definitely be my backup quarterback lifestyle that I would want to live. Just being comfortable, knowing who I am, and maybe you can go out there and have a Gardner Minshew kind of season. I think Gardner Minshew would probably be where I would want to be, like a really good backup, somebody who comes in and he doesn't completely sink the ship, but there's no illusion that dude's your future.
No. Well, Gardner Minshew, when was that?
Country.
It was prior to.
I think he was the Eagles backup.
It was
last
Eagles,
year,
but
right?
before Eagles,
it was Jacksonville.
That's where the Minshew mania, when that whole thing happened.
Totally.
So that was going on. And then you get to Eagles, and I tell a lot of people, I was saying, if Jalen didn't start out hot, if Jalen didn't start out hot, there could have been some Minshew mania happening there. And obviously Jalen has his best season, and now you have Minshew trying to do his thing with the Colts.
Right. But there's of course no illusion in Indianapolis either. Like, he's not going to take Anthony
I was
spot.
interested. I used to talk about this with the road, as far as when the Niners still had Trey Lance, and it was, hey, we are trying to figure out what the runway is for Trey Lance, right? And if Trey Lance messes up, you have Jimmy Garoppolo, when it was completely different with Anthony Richardson, where you were going to give him the whole season. And I said, okay, let's say Gardner Minshew snuck the Colts into the playoffs. Do you think that would have changed their thought process on Gardner Minshew or Anthony Richardson? No. And people are trying to tell me, I don't know. I think it would. No,
brother. Absolutely not. No, Anthony Richardson is the future of that franchise, and I don't think there's any doubt about it. And like Gardner Minshew, it's a fine season. He in certain aspects saved their season, if you want to call it that. But at the end of the day, like there's no illusion that dude is going to take it, especially a guy like Anthony Richardson, who's got all the tools he does. There's no way he's taking that spot.
All right, let's now talk to Lake Lewis Jr., Commanders insider for ABC News. Lake Lewis Jr., thank you for being on the show with us, our last show of 2023. So we had to talk some Niners Commanders. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. I appreciate you guys having me on, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you as well. So this broke a little over an hour ago. I don't know how much information is out there with Jacoby Brissett. What do you know about the quarterback situation, his tight hamstring? Could they go back to Sam Howell? And just your thoughts of the Commanders deciding to bench Sam Howell and go with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I mean, Jacoby does have, I guess like a tight hamstring, and I'd be surprised if he doesn't play. And the reason why I say that is because it's an opportunity for him. He's basically getting a chance to audition, I think, alongside Eric Bieniemy and Eric Bieniemy's offense. So, if these guys can perform well together, Brissett and Eric Bieniemy, which they've done over the past 2 games in the second half, they could be here next year with under a new coaching staff. So I think he'll play. As far as the benching of Sam Howell, I was a little shocked because he's gone this long this year. He played every snap pretty much up until the last 2 weeks. And, there were games earlier in the year, guys, where, like in New York, for instance, against the Giants, where he was really struggling. And we were sitting up in the press box thinking, well, maybe this is the game they'll just, take him out the game, not so much to bench him, but to kind of just, get a spark in that particular game, but to kind of hide him because he was struggling, and they didn't do it. So then they go ahead and they do it a couple of weeks ago when the season is pretty much over. So it was a kind of a surprise to a lot of us that cover the team, but we understood why they were doing it, because they are trying to hide him and not totally have him go in the tank.
Lake, I think you can provide a really valuable insight for some fans here in Northern California, specifically when it comes just to the other NFC East opponents and those that will probably get in the Niners' way of potentially getting to another Super Bowl. What's been your view this season on the Cowboys and the Eagles, and just from your perspective of playing the Commanders? I mean, do you feel like they're a Super Bowl worthy teams, and from the Eagles perspective as well, like they're clearly not as good or as dominant as they were last year? What do you see as the cap for that team?
Yeah, I think as far as the Eagles are concerned, I think they're the only team I really truly believe in the NFC that poses a viable threat to San Francisco as far as having to go out there your way and win on the road. I think, because there's familiarity with them playing each other. Obviously, we remember the last time they played in Philadelphia right up the road from here. You guys came over there and demolished them. So obviously, I think that kind of knocked the edge off Philadelphia a little bit. Maybe I could even use the word arrogance because they were feeling pretty good about themselves. No pun intended, but they were flying high. And Sanford came in there and just beat them down, and ever since then you saw them lose to the Cowboys. But I tell people, right before the 49ers game, the Eagles had to come back and win an overtime game against Buffalo. So you already started to see a little bit of, kinks in the armor, and they were just fully exposed by the 49ers. But I think they're the best team to have a legitimate shot to go into San Francisco. And do I think they'll win there? No, I don't. But I think they would have the best shot. Dallas, to me, is just an offensive-laden team that if you lean on them a little bit, so to speak, they're just not as physical as far as offensively. They have a great defense, but that defense can't stop the run, and that's obviously what Christian McCaffrey does best. So I don't see anybody beating San Fran to get to the Super Bowl. I really don't.
If it's not going to be this season, Lake, I'm not sure when it will be. Talking to Lake Lewis Jr., Commanders insider for ABC News. Lake, the Commanders looking forward to the future. The Commanders right now tied with the Patriots for the third pick in the draft. Is the obvious answer here that they're going to go with a quarterback, or is you talked a little bit about Jacoby Brissett and a possible tryout situation if he's able to go? Even if the Commanders take down the Niners, right? Is it basically assumed that the Commanders will go after one of these top quarterbacks in a fairly deep quarterback class?
See, I would say that it's not. And the reason why I say that is because when you're a bad football team like this team is, and you have a top pick, you have needs all across the board. I'm not so sure that Marvin Harrison Jr., if he does come out, isn't the best talent in the draft. He's that good. But then, of course, Caleb Williams is a great player who happens to be from D.C., so that's a marketing boom for a new ownership group. And then you of course, Drake May and then Kid Daniels just won the Heisman. I'm Penn State alum, so I like Fashanu quite a bit as a left tackle. I think he's a generational talent at that position. And if you want to go that route, that has to be because you're pretty certain of who you have on your roster at the quarterback spot. So if you would ask me that right now, truth serum, I would say they may be looking at a quarterback as a fresh face. But it just depends on how these last two games, are played.
Lake, I was curious. I mean, earlier this year, the Niners did make a move with Washington to bring over Chase Young. What were your thoughts on that move, and what were your thoughts also just on Chase Young's career up until that point? Kind of, I know he dealt with some injury history, but had a pretty decent rookie season. Was obviously taken pretty high in the draft. Just what were your thoughts on that move and Chase's career up to that point?
Well, half of us here in town were split on that. Some were happy to see him go, and then guys like myself thought it was a bonehead move, to be honest with you, because, when you're not that good, sometimes you put an onus on some of your players that clearly have more talent than others to do too much. And the problem I had with the trade of Chase, as well as Montez Sweat, the other defensive end at the time, was they were playing in a pretty bad system, pretty bad, antiquated defensive scheme under Jack Del Rio. And it just didn't utilize their strengths. These guys are kind of guys that are, uber athletic, so they can do a little bit more freelancing around. And Jack didn't like that. They hated it, actually. And they just wanted them to play from within a certain position, a certain box. They lined up, hands down in the same spot every single play. So, of course, opposing offenses, these offensive coordinators today are just geniuses. They schemed around them, and it made them kind of, non-effective. So I was upset with it. And then on top of that, you trade them to a team that's in your conference that if you ever are going to be any good, you're going to have to go through. And then on top of that, you trade them to a team that already has two other Vipers. One's a friend of mine, Trent Williams, that were already PO'd to be, out of Washington. So now come Sunday, there's going to be three former Washington guys that are, they've got hell to pay.
Yeah, I definitely, and there's going to be a nice homecoming there as well. It's going to be, I think even if the game is whatever, there'll still be some good storylines, which is what we always look for. Lake, just a couple more for you. It's been great stuff so far. Thank you for joining us, talking to Lake Lewis Jr., Commanders insider for ABC News. Lake, what would be your guess? We're really digging into the crystal ball with you for the future of the Commanders. What happens with Coach Ron Rivera? And I think it's more interesting what the heck happens with Coach Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, well, I can tell you right now, Black Monday comes, it's going to be a full swipe. Everyone on the coaching staff will be let go. There's no question about that. As far as Eric, maybe I should say everyone and Eric has a chance, but I'm at the point right now where I feel like Eric will be let go as well. And I just think that they're going to go and start this thing over from the ground up. And, again, if they go out and catch lightning in a bottle and they beat the 49ers and they beat the Cowboys, let's just say the Cowboys, still have a game to play for as far as their positioning, or maybe even an outside chance to win the NFC East division, which was eerily similar to last year. The final game of the season was against the Cowboys, and it was Sam Howell's first start, and the Cowboys played all their starters, through 3 quarters. So it could be a situation like that. And if they play well and get a win or two with Jacoby Brissett, it really changes the narrative on Eric Bieniemy. But as of now, guys, I think, I know 95% of those guys will be gone on Monday, the day after the season ends.
Interesting. So, you kind of had a good perspective on Eric Bieniemy this season. What do you think has just gone wrong with his search to finally get that head coaching spot? I mean, it felt like, when he was in Kansas City, obviously that's a name that's going to get thrown into just about every head coaching job, but he never ended up getting it, and almost felt like he had to move to Washington just to get away from the attachment to, oh yeah, he's good, but he has the Chiefs offense. Anyone could be good with that. What was your view this year kind of Eric Bieniemy, and do you think that he should eventually get that head coaching job?
I mean, that's a great question. And, I'm one of the guys here in town here because I'm pretty cool with Eric. And, we've talked after games before on what they need to do and do better. And, the problem has been, kind of self-inflicted at times by Eric because he doesn't run the football a lot. And Brian Robinson is a really good young running back that's more of a physical guy that could have helped your young quarterback. Well, they didn't run the ball a lot, but I always tried to forewarn people, not, up until maybe the last year or two in Kansas City with Pacheco, since they got him last year, they didn't really run the football a whole lot in Kansas City. If you look at the numbers, they clearly were a pass first team, pass second team, pass third team, if you look at the numbers. So, I think that was a problem. The other thing is that I think people have to now give him the benefit of the doubt in the fact that he basically was starting a rookie quarterback. Mm-hmm. And you go from Patrick Mahomes, clearly one of the top 5 quarterbacks ever with the chance to go down maybe as the GOAT, so you have that kind of talent. And now you're basically hands-on training a rookie quarterback with, by the way, the worst offensive line in football. So, it's hard to get a fair, true assessment of what Eric can do if he had his guys in tow. And I think that's something that, Josh Harris, the new owner, they're going to have to take a look at, is that, this guy has had some success with the offense. I mean, it's clearly better than what it was under Scott Turner for the past 3 years, but it still could have been a lot better. So, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Eric, but I think he's kind of separated himself from the rest of the group that's been here for years. Those guys are gone. With Eric, will he be willing to come back as an offensive coordinator again? But the question is it depends on what kind of coach you're going to hire. Because, guys, if you hire an offensive mind, you don't want them clashing, and that won't happen. But if you hire maybe McDonald from the Ravens, who's a defensive coordinator, maybe he says, hey, I'll keep Eric and let him continue to build the 2 quarterbacks that we have, and then you draft the offensive tackle. So lots of variables, guys, out there.
Yeah, and honestly, if you're Washington, hey, the fact that you felt like you had to come here, that doesn't really have anything to do with us, right? We got to do what's best, and we see this stuff happen in different careers, no matter what. Business is business all the time. Yeah, I just thought about this as you were talking, because earlier in the season, if I'm not mistaken, there was a report, this is really early, I don't even know if the season had started yet, where some of the players had an issue with how Bieniemy was coaching them.
Yeah, that wasn't true, and I actually refuted it as soon as it came out.
Yeah,
guys, I hate to say this, but there's a lot of, you guys know the business and the league. There's a lot of things that sometimes are asked to be put out for certain reasons.
Right.
And at that particular time, it's not just me, but a lot of folks who cover the team, but know people who cover, as far as in the building, so to speak, as far as other coaches.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I talked to a lot of the frontline players at the time, including Sam Howell, and they were like, "That's not true. If it is, it's not one of us. It's not." Put it like this: if it happened, it wasn't a starting frontline player because no one owned up to it. Everyone ran away from it when it came out, except for Ron Rivera. He sat on it and said, "Yeah, somebody came to me," but he wouldn't say who. And a lot of us thought that was rather odd at the time for him to say that, considering this team's been horrible for how long. No, as I call them here on a segment I do, buns. That's what we call them.
Right.
No player who's never had success has any legs to stand on to say someone's coaching them too hard, especially a guy that's coming from the defending Super Bowl champions. And the next day, you guys saw what happened. All the Kansas City guys, Mahomes, Kelsey, even Tyreek Hill, Miami, they all came out and said, "No, this guy's a great guy, great leader. He's made me a better man." So it was just odd, but I think there was some jealousy already starting to swirl, and that's the kind of stuff that we deal with here in Washington.
Wow. Well, look, Lake, I hope it turns around for you. I hope you either package that pick or do whatever you got to do to get Washington back on the right track. I have some friends out there as well, some Commander fan friends, and I'm wishing you the best. Lake Lewis Jr., Commanders and NFL insider for ABC News. Lake, this was great. Let's do this again in the new year. Thank you so much, and happy holidays. Happy New Year.
All right. I appreciate you guys for having me on. Anytime, just let me know.
All right. Awesome. You got to get to a break. When we get back, it's 12:23, which means it's time for Kings Talk.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. And the round table is upon us with Brenden Nunez and Frankie Cardicelli. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season?
Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995?
Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Eileen Javor in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Mostly cloudy skies will give way to rain by late this afternoon and into this evening, and we'll have a soggy overnight. Rain will continue in the morning, tapering to showers Saturday. Get the latest forecast in the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let us fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $97. Bonnie, plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Count down the end of the year with us on Sactown Sports.
Sunday, we close out 2023 and usher in 2024 with a big doubleheader. First, the San Francisco 49ers look to regroup as they battle the Commanders in D.C. That is the Kings and Grizzlies from Memphis.
49ers at 10, Kings at 5 on New Year's Eve. On your home of the 49ers and Kings, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by E.B. Stone. E.B. Stone for the life of your garden. The 49ers Christmas was ruined Monday night, dropping their first game in 6 weeks, 33-19 to Baltimore. Quarterback Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions in the game, the most for any 49ers gunslinger since Colin Kaepernick in 2015. The Red and Gold still control their own destiny in the NFC playoff standings, looking to get back on track New Year's Eve against Washington.
Celebrating over a century as a family-owned business, E.B. Stone has gathered invaluable insights into nurturing plant growth. Venture into indoor planting with E.B. Stone's Edna's Best indoor and outdoor potting soil. Watch your little plants flourish into ideal indoor companions for the whole family to relish during the holidays. E.B. Stone's indoor and outdoor potting soil is a meticulously crafted blend of essential ingredients. Your plants will thrive both indoors and outdoors. Trust E.B. Stone for the entire lifespan of your garden. Explore more gardening tips, products, and find nearby locations at ebstone.org. Wishing you a season filled with joy and flourishing green.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Christmas is in the air at Hanley's Kia. The season of giving back is bringing you an unbeatable deal on all 2024 Kia models. Drive home in style without breaking the bank. Introducing Hanley's Kia incredible leasing option for just $199 a month. Picture yourself behind the wheel of a brand new 2024 Kia, loaded with the latest features and cutting-edge technology. Whether it's the sleek Niro Hybrid with 54 mpg, an EV6 with up to 310 miles, the versatile Sportage, or the family-friendly Telluride. At Hanley's Kia, you can also reserve your luxurious full-size EV9 with 3 rows that has the comfort of a stylish interior and the peace of mind that comes with driving a brand you can trust. Head over to Hanley's Kia, the season of giving back today, located in Davis.
New 2024 Kia Niro Hybrid EX for $199 per month for 36 months after $7,999 customer cash due at signing plus $300 military customer rebate. 10,000 miles per year and 20 cents per mile after 30,000 miles based on sale price $30,545 and payment excludes taxes and DMV fees and any dealer fees. Vehicle ID number R5136138.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think Happy Honda Days. Let's explain. Happy is a good thing. We all like happy. Honda stands for quality, reliability, comfort, design, peace of mind, value at resale, and a lot more feel-good words. Days is how long you have left to take advantage of Elk Grove Honda's year-end clearance underway right now. Elk Grove Honda is located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard, or visit us at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big ol' nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. 2-day GA tickets are on sale now starting at $85, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Bonnie Plumbing, Electric Heating and Air.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop, just like our guest Lake Lewis Jr. did, Commanders and NFL Insider. Great stuff from Lake. Thank you. And we are giving good energy to the Commanders and the Commanders fan base as they try to figure things out. But it is time to turn the corner to the Kings. The Kings Roundtable. I was going to say Kings Corner. That could have worked as well when there are only 3 of us. But the Kings Roundtable is here. And Brenden Nunez and Frankie Cardicelli are coming with the heat for the last roundtable of 2023. Fellas, how you doing?
I'm good, man.
Don't give me that.
What?
Don't give me
Don't give me
What do you
good.
mean?
Don't tell me you're doing well.
We have to come in and just start getting aggressive? Like,
That's right.
we're out here.
Yeah, there we go.
Well,
Out here.
that's what Brenden is out here
Slap the floor, man.
on social media, saying a lot of different things, a lot of proposed trades.
I mentioned trades one time. Alan's
we-
like, all right, we're cooking.
No, that we will get into for sure. I wanted to talk about first before we get into the upcoming games. The offseason from the Kings. And Chris talked about this a little bit last show. The Sasha Vezenkov and the moves that were made. Do you feel like it was purposely done that Monty McNair and the front office, for lack of a better term, played it safe because you had just gotten to the playoffs and you didn't want to make any crazy moves? And that's part of bringing back Harrison Barnes, who a lot of people were hot and cold on. Hey, we just got to the playoffs. The last thing we're going to be responsible for is trying to make a move too quickly. And let's say we don't make the playoffs the next season, we would get destroyed.
I think that the wording you hear a lot from the front office, Monty McNair and them, is aggressive yet disciplined. And so I think that they were out there looking for ways to make the team better, but being picky with who they decided would be that person. Like, there was a lot of noise around Kyle Kuzma. I would guess they didn't end up liking that number figure, but it doesn't mean they didn't explore it, right? Maybe they thought about Jeremy Grant, saw the price tag, and was like, whoa, I don't know about that.
Don't get Chris started on the Jeremy Grant price tag.
It's a little spicy. But, I mean, I think that they tried, that they went and looked. They just decided there were no better options, and we can currently go into the year with this team and have flexibility for when a ideal move does present itself, that they can still capitalize on it. So I think that they looked, and I go back to that wording. They use a lot of aggressive yet disciplined. And I think that this was, maybe more so one of those discipline moments because they didn't love what they saw.
That's how I try to live my life too.
I try.
Aggressive but disciplined.
Aggressive, but
you left
emphasis on the aggressive. Yeah.
aggressive. That's like in the media room on game nights, how you just have one cookie.
Yes, exactly.
Have one cookie, and that's what,
and popcorn. That's the aggressive.
You and I always we toil over that. What are we doing tonight?
We beat ourselves up.
And then we end up just kind of doing everything.
Yeah. What'd you think about that, Frankie? When you look at, because I'm looking at a Sasha Vezenkov, who EuroLeague MVP, and that was supposed to be, I guess, the splashiest move, which hasn't really. I'll throw him in the starting lineup. I don't care. I'll throw him in over Herter. I went from Herter being better than Klay Thompson to now Sasha Vezenkov can start.
Is that the new poll? Is that the new poll?
Yes.
It went from
Nate. We got a poll. Would you start Sasha Vezenkov over Kevin Herter? Thank you very much.
There's your poll.
Spicy.
No, I mean, I think that there's still a lot that remains to be seen with Sasha and where he fits, and especially this lineup. That's the one thing that we have not seen happen to this point yet. I mean, during to Mike Brown's tenure with the team, we have not seen him go with the starting lineup change outside of KZ Okpala and Keegan Murray at the beginning of last year, which was interesting to say the least. But that's kind of that one ace in the hole I'm looking at as far as, okay, the Kings have lost 2 games in a row, so the sky is not really falling. And I know it's not great watching them lose a game to the Portland Trail Blazers, by the way, that they did allow 130 points. But if they were to make a lineup change, it's kind of like a point of no return as far as if Sasha Vezenkov got inserted over Kevin Herter. Kevin Herter, we've seen he's very streaky. Right now he's going through a rough stretch. I think he's averaging 6 points per game over his last 10 on 24 from 3. He's broken out of these almost before. But if he doesn't and you make that lineup change, that kind of opens up the floodgates as far as, okay, well, if you're moving him out of the starting lineup, I don't think Kevin Herter is a bench guy. It's like, where does it fit long term?
See, but Chris
Back to the
said
trade
that
talk.
too. Chris said that too when I said if someone's not good enough to be in your closing lineup, then why start him? Chris, we're talking about him. Chris was saying to get him going, things like that. I don't know, man. I don't know why that bugs me.
I think with a player like Kevin Herter, a shooter's really, I think the hope is that they can have it like they have it that night. And I think with Kevin Herter, we really do know more times than not if Kevin Herter has it by the end of the first quarter. And if he doesn't, you often see Mike Brown move away. Now, I guess that does make sense as why that'd be frustrating. But I just think that Mike Brown is very stubborn. And I was on this morning with Dave and Jason, and someone was in the comments asking, why is Mike Brown so stubborn with these lineup changes? And I don't really have a clear answer. I mean, I think it's just because of, repetition and just being in your own role. I think that feels comfortable, and being comfortable is important. But at a certain point, you have to have results. And right now the results are not there. And looking at last game in particular, of a starting five just completely laid an egg. I mean, outside of Fox and Sabonis, obviously scoring 77, the fact that nobody else scores 9, that just simply can't happen. That cannot happen.
I mean, and that starting group played more than 150 minutes more than any other group last year and was really successful. You know, like, I think that there's not a clear better option is really what it comes down to. And Kevin has a built chemistry with that group. I still think even when shots aren't going down, he still has a gravity that really affects the spacing of the floor and helps open up the game for Domas and De'Aaron. And I mean, one of his biggest things that I always like to point out is that he sprints through everything he does. Like the pace is not just open court, it's half court as well for this team. And I think Kevin's like a really big part of that, you know, and we're still probably going to look at the end of the year and he's going to shoot 40% from 3.
Yeah, and I was just wondering, I mean, to kind of build on Alan's initial question, like, I mean, we're 30 games pretty much into the Kings season. What would you guys give the offseason with hindsight being 2020? I mean, Alan mentions there that Sasha's kind of was the marquee piece when it's additions brought in, and I think we could all say without, you know, saying that it's over and close the book on it. Like, Sasha's been disappointing when it comes to what the expectations were versus what he's been. Duarte, I would also say, has been disappointing. What would you, JaVale McGee, there's all the minor additions that were made. If you guys had to give it a grade, Frank, we'll start with you. What sorry to just throw that on your court, but what would you give retroactively the Kings offseason?
I'd say like a C- because not much really changed. And that's kind of the problem, right? Like, not much really changed. This is still like the top 7 guys of the rotation are still the top 7 guys of the rotation. You have your starters and you have Trey Lyles and Malik Monk off the bench. Those are still your guys that are playing the bulk of those minutes. And you have the guys that you kind of wanted to come in and be those glue guys falling short. I mean, Chris Duarte has not been great. Had some good defensive moments last game, I thought, but I mean, it's still just
not enough.
Not enough. No, not good. Not good minutes. The whole body of work is not good.
Yeah.
Sasha, I feel like he had some good moments early in the season, and obviously he's kind of not someone you can play against athletic lineups, and that's an issue. But I think it is kind of that problem is, was it going to be enough? I think that was the biggest question: is keeping Harrison Barnes, bringing in Sasha, bringing back Alex Len, Duarte,
Sabonis extension.
Like, was all that enough to get them over the edge and have them go from a good team to a great team, which we hear a lot from Mike Brown, that coaching staff. And right now, I'd say they're kind of in the same spot and they're not really taking that next step. And yeah, I think that a C- is probably the grade with hopefully some room for improvement, but I'd be fully open to hearing anyone that has a worse grade because it's kind of warranted in my opinion.
I'd actually go a little higher. I guess I'd go with like a B. I think the Domas getting a 217, $5 million is pretty big. Like, imagine how different and how much you guys would be sitting here talking about, like, are we sure that Domas is going to come back next year? And this whole thing would just go to crap. You know, like, getting him locked up, I think, was a big part of that. And I go B because I still feel it kind of has to be TBD. You know, they maintain their flexibility, I think, is the biggest thing here. And they still can wait and take that swing. Like, I think the fact that you're kind of just in the same area, and there's been progress from De'Aaron Fox, there's been progress from Keegan Murray. I think Domas has taken some steps on the defensive end of the floor, even if he still has his clear shortcomings there. Like, you know, you could have done better than JaVale. I thought that one was pretty obvious, to be honest. Like, you came from a team that desperately needed a center and couldn't get run over there. That says a lot. You know, it's a different system. Sure. Chris Duarte, been disappointing. You didn't really spend anything to get him.
Yeah.
And then Sasha, like, I'm still going to give him a little bit of time. I think there's been some encouraging things. There's getting used to the NBA game. I think that roster-wise, though, he's a little repetitive with Trey. They play him alongside each other a lot more than I ever would have thought. But I don't know that that's necessarily ideal for being productive on both ends of the floor. But I think that getting Domas locked up is like a huge aspect here. And that if that wasn't the case, this entire season could feel so different and feel so tense. You'd just be so on edge, I feel like, about, is this guy going to stay? And he's everything to this after De'Aaron.
You'd have that, and you'd also have what's going on with Malik Monk. So that's two guys that you'd be worried about. Hey, is this whole thing going to crumble? And not to mention, not to bring him up. And by the way, Chris showed me a funny video that we might talk about a little bit later with Tyrese Halliburton. Maybe, you know, trying to make sure he got those 20 assists.
I did just see this.
If you lose Domas and then you have the Tyrese Halliburton situation and you don't have him anymore, that's an even bigger nightmare. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, we will continue to talk Kings with our Kings insiders, and Brenden Nunes busts out the trade machine.
We cooking.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it. The Black Falcon soaring into the night sky on a Monday evening in Northern California.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
This holiday season, Elk Grove Kia is here to make your dreams come true. With over 100 years of combined experience, our expert financing team is ready to help you get a new ride in 2024. Have repos, late payments, or even faced bankruptcy? No problem. At Elk Grove Kia, we believe everyone deserves a sleigh full of joy, and we're here to make it happen. And the gifts just keep coming. Purchase any new Kia today, and you won't make a single payment until next year. That's right, no payments until 2024. Now that's how you close out the year in a new ride from Elk Grove Kia. Plus, with Elk Grove Kia, there's no need to tighten your belt this holiday season because we're offering no money down. You heard that right. No money down and no payments until 2024. Santa may have his reindeer, but we've got the horsepower. Visit Elk Grove Kia today and let us make this holiday season the merriest one yet. So no matter your credit history, drive into the holidays with a smile and a new Kia from Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or visit us at elkgrovekia.com today. And happy holidays from
Elk Grove Kia.
Does your dog leave frowny piles of poo around the yard? Did you know that a solid poo is one of the best indicators of your dog's gut health? Supreme Source Super Premium Dog Food is made with organic super seaweed and other powerful antioxidants, supporting a healthy digestive system. Real protein is always the first ingredient, plus a blend of essential vitamins and minerals to help support your dog's overall health and well-being. Do their digestion a solid, literally. Find Supreme Source Premium Dog Food at Safeway, Safe Mart, and Smart & Final, or a local grocery store near you. The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Timing is everything. And now is the time to buy, California, during the year-end sell-a-thon at your California Ford dealers. It's time for our biggest offers of the year on the entire Ford lineup of trucks and SUVs, like the built Ford Tough F-150, part of Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years and counting, or the adventure-ready Ford Bronco Sport with GOAT modes to help you conquer the great outdoors, and the always electrifying Ford Mustang Mach-E with 0 to 60 thrills and 0 emissions. Now's the time to buy during the year-end sell-a-thon at your California Ford dealers with exclusive offers on your favorite Ford vehicles. And now is your time to get behind the wheel of the Ford truck or SUV you've always wanted. But time is running out. These offers absolutely end on January 2nd. Visit your California Ford dealer today, based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
Hey, DC comic movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is playing Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the IMAX experience, for a limited time.
I'm gonna murder his family and burn his kingdom to ash.
Experience this year's superhero film of the year on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen. Getting tickets is easy. Visit IMAX.com/Sacramento for showtimes and reserved seating. And don't miss Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom at the Esquire IMAX Theater this week.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't. Right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort. See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one in your neck of the woods. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Knee, foot, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
It's my favorite time of the year. Folsom Lake Ford's year-end sell-a-thon with the low finance rates, special year-end savings, and zero down deals with approved credit. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters for over 30 years.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
We are back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m., joined by our Sactown Sports insiders, Brenden Nunez and Frankie Cardicelli. And we are about to fire it up for the last time in 2023. The trade machine. And it's not me this time. It's not me.
Yeah.
I've already gone hot takey. If you are part of the Sac Chat, we are asking you if you would start Sasha Vezenkov over Kevin Huerter. If you want to be a part of that conversation, feel free to chime in and vote. And by the way, on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline, 916-339-1140, don't forget, you can call in if you want to be a part of the conversation. If you have questions for Brenden Nunez or Frankie Cardicelli, please call in. Last Kings Roundtable of 2023. You have any questions, comments on some of the pieces that they have put out on SactownSports.com? We are here for it, and it's time to turn it over. And speaking of those pieces, Brenden Nunez had something. See how I have shown you the way of the trade machine.
Yeah.
Goodness. It's once you go, there's no
just
going
wait
back.
till it's like Warrior trades every day, and then I'll be fully
invested.
You know,
but and look, it's not just you. It's not just you. You know, Carmichael Dave all of a sudden is on this Wiggins hype. Chris and I talked about this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
They called me a madman.
They did. They sure did.
And now he's talking about it. All right, Brenden, take it away.
I've had people ask me about Wiggins for what it's worth as well.
Friends of the show.
You know, probably. Okay, first one I got in here. Okay, let me preface it with this, right?
Here we go.
So I think that there's different ways the Kings can look to get to a point where they're flirting with championship contention.
Okay.
You can go and get a third star if you feel like you need it. Or I looked at Denver a little bit. You know, everybody's going to compare themselves to the championship team, but I think there's parallels. You got a playmaking big, you got a really dynamic guard, and you got this young up-and-coming scoring wing. Murray plays both ends of the floor a little bit more than MPJ, right? And obviously, you got an MVP on Denver, but I think if you believe that De'Aaron is MVP caliber, then maybe you just need to upgrade the complementary pieces, because KCP and Aaron Gordon are much better than Kevin Huerter and Harrison Barnes. And you go back 3 years, they're starting Will Barton and Paul Millsap. Those guys sound like Kevin Huerter and Harrison Barnes, to be honest. A little bit more of an aging forward and a scoring two. You know, so they go out on the trade market and 1 year get Aaron Gordon. The year after, they go and trade for KCP in the offseason. So who are some guys the Kings could look at to upgrade that Kevin Huerter and Harrison Barnes spot? First one I got here that I have mentioned to you guys before on the show is Dorian Finney-Smith. I'm a big fan. 30 years old. He's got 3 years left on his contract, including this season, including a $15.4 million player option, 25-26. Don't know the state of that and if he'd pick it up or what the case is there. But 6'7", 7-foot wingspan. Dude's got great, like one of the few guys in the league that can legitimately guard 1 to 5. So package I put together, right? Dorian Finney-Smith comes to Sac by himself for Harrison Barnes, Davion Mitchell, Sacramento's 2026 first. We'll go top 4 protected. Originally at top 10. You can finagle with whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then Portland's 2025 second. So Barnes, Mitchell, a first, and Portland's second for Dorian Finney-Smith.
You don't think that's a little bit much? For Dorian Finney-Smith?
I don't know, man. Okay, so I asked a Brooklyn guy what he kind of thinks the range
He's got a guy.
Finney-Smith would be, right? And I don't want to out his name because I didn't say I was going to say this publicly.
Sure.
But Dorian Finney-Smith, I'd say would be either 2 late firsts, a quality first, or a first with a decent player.
One more time. Can you say that? I'm sorry.
Either 2 late firsts,
okay,
a quality first, or a first with a decent player. I kind of went with the first and a decent player.
But then you did
and
two
then
players.
threw Davion in there. Well, the
why
other
would you
one's a
throw Davion
second.
in
The other
there?
one's a second.
Your guy didn't even want to have to throw Davion in.
gotta make
I think
salary
you needed
work,
it for
don't you? You gotta
salary,
make salary.
or maybe you didn't actually. But I was looking at they don't have a great backup point guard situation, even though I like how Dennis Smith Jr.'s kind of emerged there. And I was just trying to sweeten the pot a little bit.
I think you might have sweetened it too much.
You really want
just-
Dorian.
Yeah,
I
I just
think
think
he's
the Kings, from the Kings' perspective, like giving up a pick and Davion would just be, that's one asset too much. Because I still think if you're trading for Dorian Finney-Smith, there's still another move that needs to be made, and it'd be tough to make that move without one of those two assets.
That's exactly right, because based on your Nuggets model, that's only number one.
Right.
You still need number two. So you got to.
And you could argue that number two is the bigger trade that you would have to make.
Yeah.
Potentially. Yeah. I'm surprised we're arguing over Davion here, to be honest.
I didn't
think
say
the
anything.
picks are a lot.
And
as well, but-
you get rid of two guys and bring in one, you got an open roster spot for Keon to fill.
Sure.
Which is going to happen at some point.
Okay, so we're a little torn on Dorian Finney.
I like the fit. I like the player. I definitely think bringing Dorian Finney-Smith to the Kings is like the exact kind of move the Kings need.
Yeah.
Like those around the edges kind of moves that they need. The only thing I have on my side is the first round pick, which I don't know. Maybe I'm not evaluating his talent properly, but I feel like the first should be kind of holstered for something a little more, like a little bigger. But I feel like there should be an avenue to make that work that doesn't include a first.
He's also making $13 million this year, so I actually think the Kings would have to get something back if they're getting rid of HB.
I think when I inputted it into my calculus here,
the
trade machine
if Brooklyn's
said it
over,
worked for what it's worth.
Okay.
Okay.
But I get what you're saying. All right, we'll go to number two. Right.
Let's hear number two.
Alex Caruso's a hot topic.
Okay, you have my attention.
Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to find. We'll start with again what I got from a Chicago reporter, right? Asking about Caruso's value. To be honest, I don't think they're going to trade him. Maybe at the deadline if things continue to get worse, but what I've heard is a pick and a decent prospect. Decent prospect is hard for the Kings because after Keegan Murray, so I went with Kobe. But you got to get matching salary in there with Herter, right? So the Kings get Alex Caruso and Terry Taylor thrown in there. This is pretty much just salary matching, right? Chicago would get Kevin Herter, Colby Jones, and that same first round pick we talked about before, the 2026 first. I put top 10 protected. So again, Caruso and Terry Taylor coming to Sac for Kevin Herter, Colby Jones, and a 2026 first round pick.
I think I'm in.
Yeah, that might be one of those where you just do it just to get it done. I mean, you might not love what you give up, but at the end of the day, you get the right piece in there. And I think you got to kind of live with it. I mean, I do kind of feel like Kevin Herter, you might be selling Herter's stock a little bit short, but even then, I think you might just kind of need to get it done because Caruso, in my opinion, is like the perfect kind of extra guard to bring in here.
Caruso's 29, by the way.
He was first team All-NBA defense last year.
That's the thing. You're going defense. You're going defense over offense, which the Kings have a lot of offense right now, and obviously Kevin Herter's not been playing well, so that kind of can show. Okay, you bring in a guy like Caruso, who again is no slouch on the offensive end. He's shooting 44% from three, I believe. I don't know how I'm on
44.9% on 3.4 a game.
Yeah, and he's playing good defense. Like you said, he was an all defense guy. The Kings need defense. They need defensive impact.
3.4 a game.
3.4 a game.
Yeah, we got to do that.
And to Alan's point too, I mean, Caruso's a dude who can finish games. Like there's no doubt that you're trading Kevin, who is probably closer in a third of your games, for a guy in Alex Caruso who probably should finish more games than not. I mean, I would put him out there. I mean, I know you might have to make a weird lineup of like a 3-guard lineup of Fox, Monk, Caruso, and then maybe like Murray and Sabonis. It's a little bit small, but I kind of think you just got to do it.
I mean, Caruso, I think, is super versatile. He's a
point guard. He's a
too. I
backup
heard you talking about this the other day. Yeah, like
maniac.
He's
6'5".
Maniac for
got
sure.
Some sight.
Like getting every offensive rebound that he possibly could. And yeah, I mean,
just a winner.
Think of him as kind of Derek White, not to be the
for
bald
sure
white guy, but
for sure,
you know, I think
that's a hot name now. All-star.
I know.
Derek White.
Well, he can't play offense like Derek White this season, but
and his nickname on Basketball Reference.
What nickname we got?
Bald Mamba.
Ooh,
I haven't heard that.
There's too many Mambas.
There are.
They're
definitely.
Stop with the Mambas.
Yeah.
No more Mambas.
Can we leave that in 2023?
Do we got time for one more? Or should I wait?
On the other side. We can do
the
it
other side. We'll get to a break. Nate's giving me that look. When we get back, we are finishing the trade conversation. We will also look forward to the Kings record, and we will try to correctly predict what they're going to do starting tonight when they go to Hotlanta and try to get their first W in Hotlanta since 2019. Back more with our Sactown Sports insiders, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It's a huge NFC battle Saturday night in Dallas as the Cowboys host the Detroit Lions. Playoff positioning is on the line Saturday at 5. Get all the play-by-play right here on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. That's 2,000 children every single day. It's a heart-wrenching reality that we can no longer ignore. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted vehicle, running or not. Call 1-800-775-5622. We guarantee that you will receive the maximum tax deduction. We provide fast, free pickup with 24-hour response. Call 1-800-775-5622. Find the Children provides crucial resources to help find missing children and educational materials to teach kids how to recognize and avoid predators. Our recovery programs have a proven track record of reuniting kids with their families. It's time to act. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Help us build a world where every child is safe. Pick up the phone and call 1-800-775-5622. Together, we can bring these kids home safely. This advertisement was paid for by Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This is Jeff Scott. Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now, there are medicines that can treat COVID whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Why is the world's #1 selling brand of chainsaws not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot? We can give you over 10,000 reasons. That's how many authorized local steel dealers you can find across the country. Visit one and you'll find a range of dependable gas and battery-powered tools, from trimmers and blowers to mowers and more, trusted by homeowners and pros all over the world. And you'll find service and help from experienced professionals. Real steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. Lowe's and Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
It's the season of performance event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at HagenOaks.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports.
Live and local.
Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports. One more hour with you for our last show of 2023. 2024 is around the corner. Joined by our Sactown Sports Kings insiders, the hardest working men in Kings media, Frankie Cardicelli and Brenden Nunez. As Brenden Nunez, I have infiltrated Brenden Nunez's thought process, and he is big on the trade machine. Go look up the piece. Go look up the piece that he just wrote on SactownSports.com. Great stuff. We are breaking it all down now. Your calls, your texts, the Sac chat is going back and forth. If you haven't seen the poll on the Sac chat, would you start Sasha over Kevin Huerter? We are at 76% says go for it. 24% says you are insane. Brenden Nunez, you had one more mock trade for us, okay? And for those who are just now listening, first one was for Dorian Finney-Smith. We felt like it was a little too much. I think the collective group here felt like it was a little too much, but we like Dorian. Second one, Alex Caruso. So, yeah, first one with Dorian Finney, you'd lose Davion and Harrison and a pick. Okay, the second one, you would lose Kevin Huerter and just a pick, right?
And Colby.
And Colby Jones for Alex Caruso, who is shooting 3.4 threes a game at 44%.
44.9.
Yeah, well, let's do that.
Knocking them down.
Let's do that now. Let's see if Brenden can go. I'll say you're 1 for 2 right now. No, you're 1 for 2 right now.
Yeah,
Let's see if you can go 2 for 3 on the day. What's the last one?
So this other one's a little different. It's a cheaper option.
Okay.
That you could maybe mold into somebody that you like. I looked at PJ Washington. He's somebody that's interested me for a little while. Has obviously spent a good amount of time in the league. This is his 5th year and kind of underwhelmed, right? Started the year in the starting lineup. Miles Bridges came back. He's been moved to the bench. This is what I got from Charlotte Reporter asking about PJ Washington, right? He's had an underwhelming year, but maybe a player that needs a change of scenery and a 2nd round pick or like late 1st round pick and a filler, and just a little context from him on PJ Washington and the season that he's had, clarifying on that inconsistency. When he's clicking as a ball mover, pick and pop 3-point shooter, short roll playmaker, and he's had a floater working at different parts in the last couple seasons, it just feels like it doesn't always click on a consistent basis. In theory, he's a better player than in practice sometimes. Still very versatile both ends of the floor and skilled. Just want to see him put it together for longer stretches. So you'd be selling yourself on, we get this guy in our culture, we can optimize him, right? And because that's the case, a little cheaper, right? So Trey Lyles can't be included in a deal until I think it's the 15th of January. So you could put Trey in here if you wanted instead. But I put Sasha Vezenkov, Davion Mitchell, and 2 second-round picks. Portland's 2025, Sac's 2026 for PJ Washington. Change of scenery guy is Davion Mitchell to me, and Sasha's not nothing.
I'm saying yeah. I'm saying yes.
Let me hear it again.
PJ Washington comes to Sac for Sasha Vezenkov, Davion Mitchell, and 2 second-round picks.
He's under contract. He just signed
a 3-year, $46.5 million deal.
It's more depth at the forward and the big positions.
You could slowly work him into the role while HB gets phased out a little bit.
Like you talked about, I mean,
age.
As much as I hope Sasha works out and his shot is impressive, but Trey Lyles and Sasha are a little redundant, so it wouldn't make sense if
Trey Lyles and Sasha
are a little redundant.
How do you figure?
They're both stretch 4s.
I don't think they're redundant.
I think
because defensively, I think Trey, you can put different bodies on Trey that you cannot put on Sasha.
For sure. But I feel like bringing in PJ Washington, stretch 4, stretch 5, but a little different. Like he brings more size to the Kings have. Because right now, would PJ Washington play backup center? It's hard to say. Would he play 4 next to Sabonis or play the 5 and Sabonis and him play interchangeable positions? I don't know. But it does kind of bring you another guy that would be an upgrade over what they currently have in those areas.
Well,
he's 25.
He's 25. Honestly, I will give you this. The more I've watched Trey Lyles, I thought he at least had a semblance of a bag. That man has no bag. No, he does not have a bag. He can't even get to the free throw line. I mean, literally all he does is shoot.
He's going through a rough stretch for sure. But
what does he do
last year he had a
offensively
bag.
besides shoot?
I think he doesn't do too much out there, which has some value, like shoots well, I think runs the floor and cuts, just like fits there. I don't think it's very often that you're like, God, that was just a horrible decision by Trey.
No.
You know what I mean?
But we have too many of those guys on the team.
That's probably fair.
Right? Yeah. I'd rather sorry, Trey Bays. I'd keep Sasha.
Well, yeah, if you want it to be Sasha in this or Trey in this rather than Sasha, like sort of take your pick in my mind. Just wait until the 15th.
My question is, what are you hoping to get out of PJ Washington?
Hoping that there's more there than what has been seen. I think that he's a really solid play finisher, which is big alongside De'Aaron and Domas.
Yeah.
I think that his playmaking's kind of okay, and that there's interest on the defensive end of the floor. Like a couple years ago, this was a guy that was talked about as like maybe he could be that 4 next to Domas that can protect the rim a little bit, So I'm kind of banking on the Kings could get more out of him than what he's gotten in Charlotte because they have a system in place, and I have faith in their coaching staff to like get the best out of somebody.
I'd probably try and get that done without players. That would be my approach. I don't think that would be worth sacrificing a potential piece that could help you for a guy that, I mean, he's making, you said $46 million for 3 years.
Over 3 years, yeah.
It's about $15 million per year. That's like what you're paying Harrison Barnes for a guy that you're just very unsure what you're going to get. I mean, maybe if there was a little bit more concrete numbers or things that you could take from him that feel like the right thing. But I mean, if we're talking about, making the Nuggets model of where's our KCP and where's our Aaron Gordon, I don't think PJ Washington fits the Aaron Gordon mold. To me, that's given up a lot for that. That's a move for a younger team that's going to bank on some potential. I don't think the Kings are in a potential spot right now. It feels like to me they need hard production. They need somebody who you're going to trade for this guy. You're going to get this, and you might get something more. But to me, for PJ Washington, I feel like giving up on Sasha too this early feels like it's not worth the risk.
That's fair. So you're a Gordon Hayward guy?
Big Gordon Hayward guy, even though I saw he's hurt again.
Is he?
He got hurt yesterday. Yeah.
He's on my list of what ifs. Ken Griffey Jr., Bo Jackson.
He'd be a good fit for the Kings.
He's kind of interesting.
If they're just getting rid of him.
He does have $30 million though. You got to match.
No.
Hayward? Yeah.
No.
That's a lot of moolah.
Quick side note on PJ Washington. If the Kings were to bring him in, he would lead the team in blocks. And he's not really a quote unquote rim protector, but the fact that he would be right now their best rim protector also speaks to the fact that the Kings really have not taken any steps closer in solving this rim protection issue, because I have to go back and look to who leads the team in blocks. But right now, PJ Washington's at 21 on the year, and I believe leading the Kings with 18 this year.
Ooh, wait, you got guesses?
Go ahead, guess. Who's leading the Kings in blocks?
Keegan was second last year, so I'll say Keegan. It's either Keegan or Domas.
It's
Keegan.
It's Domas.
Okay.
Yeah, with 18.
Where's JaVale?
I think he's tied with Malik.
He's actually
or not.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Tied for second.
Don't
16.
tell me that. Don't
16 though. Malik has 16 blocks.
16 blocks.
Hey man, Alex Len's averaging 4.2 blocks per 36 minutes. So
there you go.
You just gotta play Alex Len 36 minutes.
From the 916 6 minutes ago, so not sure which one. Just get a nope.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. The thing that I do like about PJ Washington is, Frankie kind of turned my mind a little bit. The versatility at the 4 and the 5 would be nice. I mean, that's a guy where you can put him into the Sabonis backup minutes, and that feels a little bit more like a center than maybe, Trey Lyles and Sasha do. So in that sense, it's to me, I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of, the interchangeability is cool. Like the same thing with like Barnes.
It's dope, actually.
Yeah, it's dope. But with Barnes, fire, dude.
Fire, dude.
With Barnes and Keegan, it's so fire. No, the Barnes and Keegan aspect, like who's actually a small forward, who's the power forward? I mean, we go back and forth in this sometimes, but do you view Keegan as more of a small forward or a power forward?
I guess small forward. I think it doesn't really matter. I think that you could have a lineup, like say that you traded Herter instead of Barnes for Dorian Finney-Smith. I think you could roll out there Herter, Barnes, and Finney-Smith together, or not Herter, Murray, Barnes, and Finney-Smith together. Like Murray's guarding twos. Why can't he play the two?
Yeah, I completely agree. It's like positionless basketball, which is why bringing in a guy like PJ Washington,
yeah,
who's the 5? Does it really matter? They're both bigs. They're both going to have a defensive assignment. And That's kind of like one of the things that people have talked about too, is would Sabonis be better as a 4? I don't know, but if you have someone like PJ Washington, it doesn't really matter. They're both
blur the lines a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. They're both going to be down there.
Just want good ball. Just good ball.
Score
the basketball and the basketball. Been waiting for weeks. 916-339-1140. Let's get out to Tin, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Tin? You got something for our Sactown Sports Insiders?
Yeah, that's crazy. Y'all got both of them at the same time.
Yes, sir. That's how we do it every Wednesday and or Friday, once a week.
All right, roll the dice. Next year, man, stick with the team. Roll the dice, and you land on no players getting traded. You land on stick to what you have. That's what I mean. And roll with the squad from here on out, bro.
There you go. You hear Tin does not want to make any moves. Got to get to a break. When we get back, Happy New Year to Tin for calling in. Happy New Year to the roundtable. We have one more.
Let's do it.
As we get into not just the end of this year, the start of next year, where the schedule starts to lighten up. We'll predict schedules, and we'll probably be terribly wrong, but we're going to do it anyway. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Shout out
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda. One-stop Honda shop.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. One more segment. Get your calls, get your texts in. You want to be a part of the conversation, 916-339-1140. And shout out to the Sac Chat, having a great conversation about potential moves. But we are going to leave that realm of potential and enter back into reality, because the reality is the Kings play the Hawks tonight as they try to get their first win in hot Atlanta since 2019. Boys, after this game tonight, you go to Memphis on New Year's Eve. Okay, that could be a New Year's Eve beam. Okay, it could be the first beam technically of 2024 if they leave it up long enough. Come back, talk about PJ Washington. They have the Hornets the day after New Year's at home. After that, the Magic, who are nothing to sneeze at this season. The Raptors, kind of confusing, not very good, but they got some pieces. After that, the Pelicans. Then it gets a little dicey in Detroit. Okay, let's hope that the Detroit Pistons win a game before the Kings have to go to Detroit. After that, you go to Charlotte, you go to the Sixers, you go to the Bucks, you go to the Suns, and then January 18th, it's the first showdown with De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton. So there are a lot of games to break down here, fellas. What do you think happens? Do you think the Kings are able to turn this thing around? I'm looking here based on what I'm seeing. Give me 2 seconds. Based on what I'm seeing, the next back-to-back would be January 9th and January 10th away at Pistons at Hornets. Also, do they finally get that first W in the second half of a back?
Well, there's one before that too, which is funny because we had to actually.
Oh, that's right.
Well, there's a second and the third, which my family's in town and they went to the other back-to-back against Minnesota, which I told them you probably shouldn't do that. So this one, I said, hey, do not go to the Magic game because the Kings have not shown they can handle the back-to-back aspect of the schedule. So yeah, here's the test. I mean, Charlotte, again, the Kings, again, we said it against Portland, but they should win that game. They should win a couple of these games, really. But that's a test for them. Orlando is a good basketball team, and they could pose a lot of problems as far as the length and the positional, matchups that they possess. But I'm looking at that. That's an 11-game sample size to Indiana. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of say I'd love an over 500 run. Like if you can go 6-5 over the next 11, there's not.
That's where you're at.
I'm at 6-5.
You
right
play
now.
the Hawks. You play the Hornets. You play the Raptors.
Well, hold on a minute. Memphis is not the same Memphis anymore.
No, I'm not. Memphis, I'll tell you right now, I got Memphis as an L.
Orlando's a good team.
I don't feel good about it.
That's probably fair.
Orlando's a good team. New Orleans is a nightmare. Philadelphia is Philadelphia. Milwaukee's Milwaukee. Kings match up well against Phoenix, and Indiana's played well. There's only a couple games in there that are like, okay, they should beat Charlotte. They should beat Detroit. They should beat Charlotte again. And other than that, it's like, I don't look at any of those games and say, wow, the Kings should win by a landslide. I mean, they haven't really proven that to this point. They just haven't. Even in games they've won against Washington, you allow 130 points. So I'm looking at this upcoming schedule.
Raptors
saying,
11-18.
Yeah, Raptors 11-18. They're also someone that could pose a problem as far as matchups because they have the Siakams and the Anunobis.
Showcase.
Scotty Barnes. Yeah, showcase. It's a big showcase game.
In Golden One.
I might be a little down on the Kings right now just because of what happened against Portland. But again, they have the capability to come out tonight and just completely, beat the brakes off of Atlanta, but they have to prove it.
I'm saying that New Orleans game's a win.
They gotta get
There's
one,
no way you lose 4 games in a row. There's no way. To any team in the NBA.
Roll the dice.
What was it?
The Usher, watch
Roll
this.
the dice.
Roll the dice.
Roll the dice.
You never know.
Chris, how are you feeling?
I don't know how I'm feeling anymore. Feeling about what? I'm sorry.
The games.
These are all over the place. I think the Kings are going to do well during this stretch. There's to Frankie's point, however, I will say there's really not much that to go off of that should make me feel positive about it. But man, I mean, the Kings, I told you this yesterday, Alan, up until the loss to Portland, they had not lost to a team underneath 500. It feels like they should be able to take care of this easier stretch of games. Like, we were talking with DaMichael earlier. He was talking about how in the West you go from, playing the Nuggets to the Clippers and then the Kings and Warriors.
Right.
There's not many stretches of games where you can kind of take a breath. And the fact that the Kings at least have an opportunity here to breathe a little bit with some Charlottes, with some Torontos, with some, some bad teams sprinkled in there. To me, it just, if it's not going to happen now, if consistency isn't going to happen in this next, I'm not looking as far as maybe the Indy game, but this next 7 or 8 games,
5.
Please, just if it's not happening now, I can't believe it the rest of the year. They're just going to be up and down all year because this is the easiest stretch of games you're probably going to get all year.
And they already tricked off one.
Yeah,
and I don't even know. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I want to take this dog segment into 2024 if they don't start to figure this
That's
out.
fine.
All right. I got a short leash, no pun intended, on the dog segment because I'm looking here. Okay. Hawks, I'm sorry. After you tricked off the Blazers, that's a gotta have.
Yeah,
it,
you got
to
it.
me.
Yeah.
Grizzlies, that's going to be spicy, dicey.
Sure.
Fine. Whatever. Hornets, gotta have it. Magic, I'm sorry. Gotta have it. I don't care.
I don't know about have to.
No, you gotta have it. But here's
It's a good
the thing.
team.
Here's
That's
the
a
thing,
really
though.
good
Here's the
team.
thing, though. For me, this is a very important stretch. Okay, I would say until the Sixers, because the Sixers we know are legit, and the Bucks
I would
are
say
legit.
the Magic are legit.
Not as legit.
Well, about the Magic game, though, they also will be on the second night of a back-to-back. They played Golden State the night before. So, again, it's a no excuses back-to-back. They both are both on the second night of a back-to-back. And to Alan's point, like, you have to get that narrative out of the way. You cannot keep losing.
How many games in a row are the Kings supposed to win here now?
No, I'm not saying
that's the thing, though. That's the problem.
No. My whole point is when you look at let's go up
Just
to
did
the
4
Sixers.
straight gotta have it games in a row.
No. I didn't say Grizzlies. I said Hawks gotta have it. Grizzlies, Hornets gotta have it. Magic should have it. Okay, I will downgrade that.
Okay.
Raptors gotta have it. Pelicans have some pride, okay? Pistons, please have some pride. Then you go to Charlotte. I would say that stretch
7-2 at worst.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Okay, I'll take what 7? I'll take 6-3. But this stretch to me here is going to be the most important stretch for Monty McNair to decide, because this isn't the creamiest of the crops. All right, so you gotta, if you are not able to at least have a winning record here, I'm not saying blow it up.
No, for sure.
But get Brenden Nunez in there, Monty McNair. We'll run this like Moneyball. Next thing you know, we're gonna have Brenden on the show, assistant GM.
Right.
That's what I'm
then
saying.
we won't get him all. Sorry. Low blow.
Yeah.
Low
All
blow.
right,
Sorry.
all right.
That's
so
Oh my God. I'm sorry.
They're dropping it. Come on. Wow. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that at some point you got to see a run.
Dude.
You got to see a run. That's all.
You do. You have to see a run.
Holiday season cheap shot. Still the
I'm sorry.
holidays.
It wasn't a cheap shot.
What's that Stephen A mean? I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, right. Let's be nice. Let's be nice.
Just be nice now. You didn't got to say all that. Let's be nice. All right.
Let's get these
Before
fools out
we
of
get
here.
you guys out of here, Frankie, any New Year's Eve resolutions and/or your plans for New Year's Eve?
Resolutions.
Ooh, what would be a Frankie resolution?
I don't know. Do you guys have any? Do you have any?
Yeah, let's try and get Frankie.
Calm down on
We
the
still have
pizza.
time. You got to go now.
The pizza.
Calm down on the pizza.
I gotta calm down on the pizza a little bit.
Maybe
Yeah.
one slice next time.
No stealing.
Yeah,
pizza.
don't get another nickname this year.
Yeah, that's okay. That's a great resolution.
Well,
less pizza, more Kid Rock.
No, my resolution is to
Don't be memed.
to block Kid Rock from my music library.
There we go.
That's my
You-
resolution.
Oh, good. You're gonna get shakes.
No,
Long
yeah,
story.
yes.
Yeah.
Do you know
City.
the? Do you
Yeah.
know the
Long
best? Do you know-
story.
do
No,
you
we
know-
don't have time.
We don't have time.
Brenden, what is your
Definitely
New Year's
don't have
resolution and/or your New Year's
I hate you
Eve
guys.
plans?
I haven't thought of a resolution here, I guess. I'm going to Monterey for the weekend.
That's
with
what's
my
up.
girl.
Okay.
You know,
Good
that'd be cool.
resolution.
Aquarium?
The waves look wild. Yeah, we're going to do the
Ooh,
aquarium.
maybe
be
get
safe.
married.
No, I don't know about that one, Nate. We're going to jump straight to that.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
don't think so.
ideas. I'm
Don't
just
think so.
Is that you,
No,
Nate?
yeah.
Yeah, you're the
Oh,
one.
I've been on the hot seat, bro. I'm on the hot seat.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about your New Year's resolution a little later, Nate. Brenden Nunez, thank you for all the work you've done in this 2023, and we know it's going to continue to come through for us in 2024. Same to you, Frankie Cardicelli. Thank you for all the work that you do, and we cannot wait for the first roundtable of 2024. You guys enjoy your holiday, and we'll talk to you soon.
Keep it rolling.
Appreciate it.
Can't wait.
There you go. All right, got to get to a break. When we get back, we have our final dog of the year, and we will discuss the best calls, the best games, all of that jazz. We'll pick our winners when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers' final road game of the regular season is Sunday in D.C.
And here's Purdy going to throw one deep, wide for Debo. Made the catch on the back shoulder. Touchdown! San Francisco!
And a back shoulder banger for Debo Samuel.
San Francisco continues its quest for the NFC's top seed. 49ers and Commanders, Sunday at 10 on Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Eileen Javor in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Mostly cloudy skies will give way to rain by late this afternoon and into this evening, and we'll have a soggy overnight. Rain will continue in the morning, tapering to showers Saturday. Get the latest forecast in the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, our recipe for happy holidays is to think happy Honda days. There's no better time to visit Elk Grove Honda than during our year-end clearance sale in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or online at elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
The new year is upon us with promises of new beginnings and new adventures, but don't let 2023 slip away without savoring the memories of all you enjoyed with family and friends. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Of course, looking forward with anticipation is exciting, but I have a lot to appreciate in this past year, and much of that revolves around time with family and more good time spent around my Naturewood dining table. Watching my grandson get messy with his birthday cake is priceless, and it reminds me that new life is the perfect balance between yesterday and today. Greet the new year with a visit to Naturewood Home Furnishings. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's New Year sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow.
The memories you make with your family will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big ol' nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. 2-day GA tickets are on sale now starting at $85, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITBfest.com. Brought to you by Bonnie Plumbing, Electric Heating and Air.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
It's my favorite time of the year. Folsom Lake Ford's year-end sellathon with the low finance rates, special year-end savings, and zero down deals with approved credit. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters for over 30 years.
Hey, DC comic movie fans, the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento is playing Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the IMAX experience, for a limited time.
I'm gonna murder his family and burn his kingdom to ash.
Experience this year's superhero film of the year on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen. Getting tickets is easy. Visit IMAX.com/Sacramento for showtimes and reserved seating. And don't miss Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom at the Esquire IMAX Theater this week.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't. Right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort. See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one in your neck of the woods. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Knee, foot, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. 30 more minutes with you. Thank you again to Brenden Nunez and Frankie Cardicelli. Great stuff as always. Be sure to follow them on social media and find their work right here on Sactown Sports. And they were joined with us on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop, as we do. I guess technically we can do 2, the double dog to
I
end
guess
the
so,
year.
right?
And after having all these conversations about trades, I feel like I got to instill some more belief into my guys, right? So tonight, I'm going to do it.
Okay. Oh, you're going to do it?
No, I'm doing it.
Okay, I think today it's okay.
Or maybe
No,
somebody
today
else
it's okay.
does it.
No,
It's
it's
the
okay.
homecoming.
I can do it for you. I'll do it. I'll take the heat. I'll take the heat.
You can do it.
Because
So-
it's not, dude, you got to, you got to chill, bro.
You act like he's been balling when I haven't been taking him, though.
No, I mean, I just think there's
I'm doing it more for you at this
Then
point.
do it then. Nate, who's your dog tonight?
We gotta get the music going.
Okay, we'll
Give
get
me
the
a
music
second.
going. We're asking Nate to do a lot. He's in here with the
I
cameras.
know he's
doing
switching
great work
cameras. He's got a
doing great work for us. You probably came in Friday.
Yeah, he was
Easy
like,
show,
oh, cool.
mail it in. No. We're cutting audio. You got
gas.
You're gonna earn it. You're
on,
gonna
man.
earn this last
It's the
one.
hardest maybe I've ever worked. As you guys know.
There we go.
I don't
He's
work
got
very hard.
Different hands going all different directions behind. You got the computer going.
I'm on Dr. Octopus. Yeah, dude, we're on the same frequency right now, bro.
Who is your dog for the game
Oh, baby. My dog of the game. The red-haired menace. The flaming freak.
Okay.
Kevin Herter, baby. That's my dog, number 9. In Atlanta, back in his home. I don't know if he's from Atlanta.
He's definitely not.
He's not from
He's
Atlanta.
definitely not.
Here's the thing, though.
What?
He never broke 30 in Atlanta.
Ooh.
So tonight,
This is strong.
he's not going to break 30. He's going to get 23.
I'm good with that.
23 for
He's gonna have a
K-Bob.
solid 23.
Dude,
Respectable.
I love that guy, too, dude. The Hawks used to be my 2K team. Him, Trey Young,
Ooh, they were
John
cooking.
Collins.
Yeah.
Red
Oh, my.
Velvet.
Dude, quick play versus the Friends, dude. Kevin Herter in the
Over.
corner.
Oh,
By the
Over.
way, just
Ball
to
game.
put it in perspective, as we do put Kevin Herter in different trades, and we've not been easy on Kevin Herter. I mean, he is only 25.
Yeah.
I think a lot of
crazy.
people, I think a lot of people would at least guess 27.
Yeah,
I'm being
27
honest with you.
probably.
He's 25 years old,
That's crazy.
right? He's 25
Still young.
and turned 25.
Young
And
enough to get on the bench.
young enough to have a lot of growth in his game. And
Yeah,
there you go.
if down the line that ends up being the case, sure. But I think to that point, I know Nate was being a little bit cynical there, but to that point, we don't really know what Kevin Herter is going to be in this league. I
Yeah.
think that's probably a nicer way to put this. Chris Watkins,
Yeah.
your dog.
I just want to
For the
say
Hawks.
Kevin Herter is a great shout. I'm a strong believer in revenge games. I definitely think that, even if it's been 2 years or 3 years, I think even in some cases, like Russell Westbrook, I think still has emotions going back to OKC. I think it's a real thing. I'm not going to take Kevin Herter. I think it's a great selection, but let's see here. I'll go. Who should I go with today? I guess. You know what? Let's go obscure. Why not? Let's say Harrison Barnes. Why not? Well, let's throw out
That's
some of the
not
others
obscure,
today.
dude. That's a starter. That's your favorite player.
I'm glad the music stopped there. I'm going to say HB. Nothing crazy. I'm not even going to say he reaches 20. Just a lunch pail game. Let's say 15 points. We'll say, you know what? I'll just say a 15, 5, and 3.
I like
15
that.
points, 5 boards, 3 assists. Nothing crazy, but I just think solid for HB. And we'll give him some standout play to show the dog.
Maybe a dunk or an and one.
Big dunk,
An important and one.
would be
Offensive
great.
That's right up
rebound
his,
and one
his
type
alley.
deal.
Yeah.
All right, I'm into that. I kind of roasted this guy, so I want to bring things back around for the Trey Bays and Trey Lyles. I said he had no bag.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take Trey Lyles tonight. I think he finds some open threes. I think he shoots with confidence, and he gets back on track with a little 14-pointer.
Sure.
Right? And just helps these guys get on the winning side of things before their showdown with the new look Grizzlies.
Right.
And again, DaMichael Cole, who joined us, great stuff said in Memphis. They are looking at this thing as different seasons. And the season prior to Ja went a certain way. Well, the season with Ja has been great so far. So assuming Ja gets back, I believe it was illness that why Ja
illness
didn't play
the other day.
So assuming he gets back on track, because that game is not until Sunday or New Year's Eve. So I think that will be a great one. But I think the Kings will get back on the right side of things, in part due to your two dogs and in part due to Trey and the Trey Bays. Trey taking open trays. Okay, when he has them and taking care of business.
I'm excited to watch Bogdanovic tonight, too. He's having the best season he's had since moving over to Atlanta. I think he's just under 18 points a game. Bogey is, in a weird way for me, he's kind of the one that got away. The Kings decided to move on from him and pay Buddy Hield instead of moving on from Buddy and paying Bogey. And there still is a universe out there where I think, man, Bogdanovich would have probably still been a King.
Interesting.
And I really always liked his style of play, and still kind of miss him a little bit. So I do like seeing him play well in Atlanta. And in a weird way, him going to Atlanta got Kevin Huerter over here. So there's some weird Bogey ties that I really hope he plays well today.
Maybe a hybrid revenge game for him.
Sure, yeah.
So be sure to keep an
Goes
eye
both ways
on that. From Alex on the Sack Chat, Chris Duarte as a dark horse.
That's definitely a dark horse.
Mm-hmm. So you have him. You also have amid rock Alex Len, 10 points, 5 rebounds.
That's another mini revenge game. Alex Len, a longtime Hawk.
I see what we're all doing here as a Kings community, and I really appreciate it because last game it was the De'Aaron and Sabonis show.
Yeah.
So now we are picking guys that, look, they could score over 70 and it won't make a difference if these guys on the bench don't show
I
up.
thought basketball wasn't a team sport. That's what I was told.
That's what I was told as well. There's only one team sport out there, and in that team sport, only one position can win MVP. So go figure. All right, let's keep it rolling here. We're seeing some. Let me check the Folsom Lake Honda text line as well from the 916. Yo, HB. That's all. All
4
right.
letters. YOHB.
That's right. From the 916 HB with 2 picks for the dog. Also seeing from the 209 Malik Monk. Is it really a dog segment without the Monk Yard?
How about
dog?
whoever's being guarded by Trae Young?
Wow, that's
an
shot.
easy one. That's an easy
shot. Who are they going to try? Is that the most? Because remember back in the day, well, not back in the day, but when you hoop and it's the lesser.
Oh, that's definitely back in the day for me.
Well,
for sure.
the lesser guy, who is going to be the disrespected person to, hey, Trae, you guard him? Is
Probably
it
Kevin.
Is
Or
it
it
Kevin?
could be. I mean, I guess it could
Kevin,
be.
you
HB,
got to
but I mean,
eat.
like, yeah.
They put Trae Young on you.
That would be awesome.
I mean,
You
there's
gotta
no
eat,
way. If
Kev.
they
That
put him
would
on
be
HB,
awesome.
that's nuts. He's just going to put him in the post. There's no way they put Trae Young on De'Aaron Fox. He's just going to – he could score 100. I would guess,
It's
just
definitely not
chase Kevin
De'Aaron,
Huerter,
yeah.
I guess, and try and make his shots difficult.
If they put him on HB, that's wildly disrespectful.
Not great. It's not great.
Wow, Kevin, today's your day. All right, got to get to a break real quick. Let's do Memphis.
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah, Memphis, I'm going to do Malik Monk because I do feel that he loves those big games, and he's a trash talker, and Ja's a trash talker. So I'm going Malik Monk in Memphis. Who do you got?
I'll go De'Aaron. De'Aaron versus Ja.
Let's
and,
go.
I definitely see big things for De'Aaron.
Nate?
JaVale McGee.
Got to get to a break. When we get back, crosstalk with our guys, the Drive guys, Whitey Gleason, Kyle Draper, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings road trip continues Friday in Atlanta.
The Sabonis backdoor cut. Keegan off the bounce with a 2-hand flush.
Catch the Kings and the Hawks Friday at 4:30 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
As we come together to celebrate the end of this long, long year, Stockton Honda has savings to bring us all cheer. Happy Honda Day savings and selection galore. Stockton Honda's online express purchase and great people give you more.
Save on 400 new Hondas at Stockton Honda during Happy Honda Days. Shop in person or online with our express purchase option.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Yep, that trailer hitch and folding bed cover from Trucksmart makes road trips a breeze.
Right? I'm so much more organized on the job site since Trucksmart installed my truck rack and toolbox.
And they had it all in stock, so I just waited as they installed everything.
Take a look at this sweet Rhino truck lining. They sprayed it on.
Yeah, you win. That is sweet.
Truck Smart, truck and SUV accessories for on the road and the job site. Stop by one of our 2 locations in Rockland or Auburn. Trucksmart.com. Your truck's gonna love them.
We can be heroes.
You've seen Cody Lee not once, but twice on America's Got Talent. And now is your chance to see him live at Gold Country Casino Resort. Get your tickets now to see America's Got Talent winner, Cody Lee, January 20th at 8 p.m. Only at
Gold Country Casino Resort.
This show is open to all ages.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emron Plotty, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
This holiday season, Elk Grove Kia is here to make your dreams come true. With over 100 years of combined experience, our expert financing team is ready to help you get a new ride in 2024. Have repos, late payments, or even faced bankruptcy? No problem. At Elk Grove Kia, we believe everyone deserves a sleigh full of joy, and we're here to make it happen. And the gifts just keep coming. Purchase any new Kia today, and you won't make a single payment until next year. That's right, no payments until 2024. Now that's how you close out the year in a new ride from Elk Grove Kia. Plus, with Elk Grove Kia, there's no need to tighten your belt this holiday season because we're offering no money down. You heard that right. No money down and no payments until 2024. Santa may have his reindeer, but we've got the horsepower. Visit Elk Grove Kia today and let us make this holiday season the merriest one yet. So no matter your credit history, drive into the holidays with a smile and a new Kia from Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, or visit us at elkgrovekia.com today. And happy holidays from
Elk Grove Kia.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey y'all, this is Bill with the Good Guys. Call Good Guys Heating and Cooling now. Tired of overpriced repairs? Call the Good Guys. Jaw-dropping quote for a new HVAC system? Call the Good Guys. Don't trust the other guys. Call the Good Guys. We offer free second opinions. Family owned and operated, always ready to serve the community. We offer the best service, best price, guaranteed. And that's no bull.
Call 530-GOOD-AIR. License number 1057618.
Right now, the sewer system is probably the last thing on your mind. And that's okay, because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. If you have a sewer problem like a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Those are the sounds of Whitey Gleason, breaking it down for you in the last crosstalk.
Yeah, I'm working hard here.
2023. Of course you are.
Sorry if I'm a little distracted, still doing show prep.
Yeah, long show today, right?
Yeah.
What is it, 30 minutes?
It's an hour.
Oh,
right.
Please don't disrespect our show. Please.
Sorry. It's 60 minutes. It's twice what you said.
Can we get Whitey's dog of the game, do you think? Is that possible?
I don't think that's possible.
You got a dog of the game tonight?
Dog of the game? Well, I haven't heard all the dogs of the game. I know JaVale McGee's taken.
That's for next. That's for Memphis.
Right. Oh, I'm going to go with a guy that yesterday we said he'd be a perfect fit for the Kings. Can I pick a guy on the other team? DeJounte Murray.
It hasn't happened.
DeJounte Murray.
Man. Wow.
He's a guy that's supposedly maybe available.
He's a perfect fit?
Yeah, he'd be a good fit here. Me and Kyle yesterday were both like, ooh, we like that. So that's my pick because
so
I'm
he's
hoping
the Kevin Huerter replacement?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, another guy from Atlanta, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
why
right.
not?
They do deals with Atlanta, you know?
Yeah.
They do.
Right.
Wheeling and dealing.
Yeah.
Interesting. What do you got to give up for that?
At least
Probably
two
a lot.
ones.
Yeah.
You'd have to, because they traded.
They gave up a good bit
three
for
to
him.
get him.
Yeah.
Plus a swap. So
Do you think they'll take Davion?
I don't think that'd be the centerpiece, but sure.
Yeah, not the
You
center.
know?
Yeah. But thrown in there somewhere.
But there's the Knicks want him, the Lakers one. I don't see how the Lakers are going to get him. So I don't know. We're just hoping that happens.
Yeah, I thought as I listened to the Drive guys yesterday, I thought it was interesting what Draper had to say, just as far as the acknowledgement that this team isn't there yet, because I think that a lot of fans can have different takes on it. And, me coming out here from the Bay, just trying to understand.
Oh, by the way, sorry about your Warriors last night. Yeah.
They're not my Warriors.
Sure.
Not anymore.
Sure.
Not anymore.
Coming out here from the Bay.
Well, I was. What I was going to say was that, a lot of people have different ideas of success, right? And to hear Draper, and I think even you, and even going into the season, I had said, hey, they're young. What if they got the 1 seed? And Kyle never wavered. From the beginning, he said, I think, that I don't think they're going to be in that position. I think they're going to make the playoffs. And you had said, I think they're going to have maybe a worse record, but be a better team. I do think it's always interesting because the idea is to play for a championship, but when it's taken you so long to get to the playoffs, I guess how long does that honeymoon phase end? How many Sacramento Kings fans would be okay with just, you talked about the Pacers being outed in the first round year in, year out.
5 years in a row.
If you just stand pat and then the Kings, let's say they go in and they got it right now, 5th seed, they got to go up against the Clippers and the Clippers handle them. Is this year probably the years or one more grace year before next season? Okay, we got in. That's cute. Let's actually try to make something happen.
That's what I expected, but I don't know, Chris, if you feel this way. I've been thinking about it a lot. I think the fact that Kings fans for so long were without playoffs, it's not like, okay, we're starting over. It's like, hey, we had to wait for this for a long time.
Yeah.
Now we have a good team. We want it to be a really good team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I feel that a lot. It feels like, it feels like there isn't, for better or worse, I don't know. I can't tell you which one's right, but there is a sense of urgency that I didn't expect to be there. Yeah. I did expect a little bit of, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I thought there would be a little bit of, hey, just happy to be here. Because I swear during that 16-year playoff drought, that's all everyone was saying was just, look, beggars can't be choosers. Let's just get there. We all know it's not going to take overnight to win a championship, but let's have some sustained success for a little bit, and then we can kind of make the next move. That has not been the case for Kings fans.
And Kyle made, I thought, a really good point. To that point, he said Kings fans look at it, and it's so wide open in the West right now. There is not that great Laker team or the great whoever team and all, the great, sorry, Alan, your Warriors are not what they used to be. But, I mean,
really,
give all credit to the Nuggets, but right now it's like, hey, we have a good team, and it's kind of more wide open than it often is. So this is our chance. I think that contributes to that sense too.
I think that's a really dangerous line of thinking, though, because that's how you end up going all for broke. And I mean, yes, even if the Kings do, let's just live in this fantasy world where maybe the Kings do see that opportunity open and try and seize it, and whatever the results happen, you could end up sacrificing
mortgage your future
for the present, and who knows how hard you're ending up capping what you actually are too. I mean, to me, that's the big fear about all these, the Zach LaVines, the OGs, the Siakams, all those names being thrown out. And I think for the most part, we all pretty much agree, like, those names don't really seem to just make sense to what we think the Kings need. It doesn't make sense to just kind of go out there and make those moves just because those are the moves to be had.
Right. The problem is the Kings just it's more than one move. They need better players. They need, just like Brenden was saying during the roundtable, they need a better version of Harrison Barnes. They need a better version of Kevin Huerter to add to that core. And you can try to get it in one
foul swoop.
But I don't know that you can. And if you do happen to get it, there's still no promises.
Right.
And what did you have to give up? The problem is to get the correct upgrade or the best upgrade for Kevin Huerter or a Harrison Barnes, it'll probably cost you Keegan Murray. That, I think, is or you're going to get someone a little not as good and give up other pieces. I think that's a conundrum.
Yeah,
that's a conundrum.
Then all of a
that
sudden
the Kings
you're at cross purposes. I was looking at the minutes played, and I'm a big Keon Ellis guy, and it's an incredible story. And I made this point yesterday, but Keon Ellis right now, I think, is 8th on the team in minutes played per game. On the one hand, great job, for Keon Ellis. That's great. On the other hand, wow, that's not the way the Kings drew it up.
No,
there's other guys not playing as much who are supposed to be contributing more right now than they have been so far.
Yeah, we were just talking with Brenden and Frankie. I guess I'll ask you the same question. I mean, with hindsight being 2020, what would you grade the Kings offseason moves?
Whatever Frankie said, I agree with Frankie always.
I agree.
I didn't hear it.
He said C-. He said C-.
C-.
Brenden, I think, said B. And to me, B just feels a little bit high because, I mean, you and I were doing shows together all summer. The talk of the town was Sasha. Sasha's going to come in. He's going to make huge impact. And, you know, even if it's not, he's going to be, you know, he was a EuroLeague MVP. He's obviously not going to be anywhere near an NBA MVP, but he's going to be a guy who can contribute from day one. I just don't think we've seen the level of contribution we expected. Chris Duarte, similar conversation happened where, oh, that's a clear upgrade. And, you know, Terrence Davis can go because Chris Duarte gives that offense, but also some defense as well. We haven't seen any of those guys produce to the level that we expected them. And also on top of that, how many times do you sign 3 to 4 free agents and then you get a surprise one? I think of, you know, the Kings sign George Hill, Dwayne Dedman, and who's the guy who ends up emerging? Rashawn Holmes. 2 years ago or last year, the Kings bring in Kevin Huerter, bring in all these guys, Trey Lyles, Malik Monk. Malik Monk is the one that came up and made the biggest impact, and I don't think people expected that. The Kings, all the moves they made this offseason, no surprises, and everyone hasn't lived up to what we expected in the first place. So to me, I do think that that's a big reason why you look at what happened, and they have a similar record, but it just doesn't feel as good as it should.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And not to say that the moves were not good moves. They made sense at the time, but all the things the Kings were hoping that would produce improvement, virtually none of them have produced any improvement yet. We'll be better because defensively, because we played a year in the system. Keegan's going to be better. We've seen that a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, and Duarte's going to help to the point you made about the guys they signed. None of it's really worked. And that doesn't mean that, wow, those were bad moves. It just means, well, they haven't worked yet. There's still time, but that's why they're right now kind of spinning their wheels on a few things.
Yeah, Whitey, when you bring up Keon Ellis playing in The Good Story, it's
a great story.
No, great story. It reminds me of the Giants because earlier this season, we were all clamoring, Giants fans, bring in the young guys, bring in the young guys. They bring in one young guy, Casey Schmidt. Okay, cool. You bring in another guy. Who is this guy? The next thing you know, half the lineup is the young guys, and it got to the point where this is too many. Yeah. This means that the lineup just isn't good. Yeah. These guys aren't ready. All these guys are not ready, and I think that's exactly what's happening, and I don't know if it's a direct correlation to Davion with Keon playing, but whether it's Davion, we talked about Davion. We also talked about Duarte in a similar light. I know he's a little bit bigger, but same idea. So I think that is there's so many balancing acts and dancing between, okay, this is too much and this is just enough. And I think that's ultimately what the Kings are going to have to decide for this specific season. I think that a very important stretch here. We were talking about it during the roundtable before the Kings, the next couple of weeks here, before they get to, they have the Bucks, and then they have the 76ers, then they have the Bucks, and then they have the Suns. What they do before then when they're playing some of these teams that are good, not great, besides the Orlando Magic, I think that it's going to really shape the rest of the season because the deadline is February 8th. It's going to sneak up on us. All right. Got to get out of here. Chris, any final words for 2023?
Bye.
There you go. There's Chris.
That's my guy.
You have the Drive Guys up next with Whitey Gleason and Kyle Draper. Thank you to all the guests that we had on the show today. Thank you to DaMichael Cole. Thank you to Lake Lewis Jr. Thank you to Brenden Nunez and Frankie Cardicelli. Thank you to Nate for doing his thing. Thank you to Chris for doing his thing. Thank you to myself, I guess, for just hanging out.
No, you don't think you're.
Well, I don't really know what to do there.
Yeah, that's not what you do.
I didn't want to know what to do there. Thank you for listening. Alan Stiles, Chris Watkins, Nate Littlefield. We'll see you in 2024. Until next time, secure the bag. Beam.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety